on a bunch of creep die to the neutrals. Laurel could maybe right now. They have the vision.
Spirit.
Cancel it out.
Nhà làm cánh tim rồi.
Well, the expenses add up, and they're
Collapse has
serious
been
tower damage too.
2 games now. He's getting massive stacks.
Yeah, this time around he won't be farming it too fast though, because he went for 3 points in Kraken Shell. This is a bit slow. Eventually he'll get through it.
Liquid sẽ put nhau.
Sania nether blasting the tower, so eventually will be delayed.
Wow, man.
Even game so far. Team Spirit, this play was like maybe 2K ahead, and they just kept progressing their game number 1 just slowly until they just hit a point where they could lose a fight or even a hero for a very considerable gap. The Liquid faring a bit better this time around.
I guess something that's worth pointing out is the discrepancy between quality of tied games, you could say. The matchups for tied in this game are so much better than Zai's were in last game, so I'm expecting Collapse to have a better showing. There's nothing here that's preventing him from getting Ravage off, unless we get
Boxy địt mẹ mưa ta farm đến chết rồi.
An exact silence comment. I mean, you get what I mean. It's very difficult having that impact. You don't have the most obvious silver edge buyers either. Are you going to buy it on Weaver?
Double Impus, I hear that.
I mean, it's not out of the question because buying free on this hero is good anyway, and you're also against Spectre, so you probably do want the break. The heroes naturally really love itemizing this, so...
Well, Murta has a core with my silver edge, right?
But Moxie has...
I mean,
so
could we see...
He's almost there.
We used to see a lot of Shadow Blades on Spirit Breaker.
Spirit Breaker can buy Silver Edge, but it's a little bit awkward because your initial attack obviously has to be melee. You have to charge through, so you're at the mercy of vision and, you know,
Boxing gonna dodge the roll unbeknownst to him. Nisha stopped that rolling thunder, now Collapse stuck inside the calling right now. Looks like that's gonna be a freebie for Liquid. Nice turnaround. Another side going to be applied to the feet.
Hay quá. Địt mẹ Spirit Spirit với tụi tôi này.
Able to get the initiation off onto Nisha, but the heals coming out from Insania will actually be enough to take out the Hunter first. Got that Butler. Now the chase is on. Maybe a 2-for-1 right now. Jintaro ready to go. So running out of mana though, you see the ult from that shadow need to be applied to Zai. Just in it. Nice place. All of them not going to be enough to save out Mr. Zai. Triple kill for Laurel. Mickey.
À?
Go for some more, but they'll back away.
Rồi, Phong đánh chiến vãi luôn.
They're going to glyph it this time around, but imagine that it's just a matter of time before he completes this. So, yeah, honestly, a pretty good start there from Liquid, the way they isolated and killed off Collapse. It was very telling how long that took for more heroes to bring him down, but they do get there with all of those combinations.
Okay, scary, but yeah, it's more elongated by the rubbers.
And it's worth keeping in mind that Spirit's lineup, obviously, we talked about big team fight versus skirmishing power. Earth Spirit is an incredible skirmishing hero at this point in the game, so they really want that value out of Larla, and they're getting it in spades so far with that triple kill in that fight. And it's a Spectre game. Hero, when enabled, I want to say it loses pretty few late games. There's a subset of heroes that you're not that great against. I wouldn't put Weaver in that category. I don't think Weaver is a particularly matchup late game here.
Well,
the power gets big enough.
With the shard changes, way better than he used to.
Definitely better than he used to. But you're still running into the break problem, right? Yeah, Spirit Breaker can get that Silver Edge, but more than likely Zai wants to go Octarine, he wants to go Yashakaya, he wants to go maybe you need BKB this game. I don't think.
middle tower is under attack.
But I guess if you don't get BKB like Finch, you're very pressured out of the fights by Demonic Hurt. You might want to protect him. So Silver Edge isn't going to be at the top of his list except for charge.
Complete it. Oh, wait, he stopped right before. Oh, that's turn this around now. Ravage comes through from Collapse as well. Zai already dead. If I can somehow find Nikkei, but no, not enough lockdown. Head of the water, not there yet, Simon.
Yeah.
Not 15 minutes yet.
That could just not work
Sự
out.
phép các
Zai
thứ
canceled
đi
his charge just
mắt
to
căng tí
move
à.
away from his target. Didn't even get the prayer bash coming through. Stuck in no man's land, getting countered out there. I think a lot of players will be not opting to go for these moves at all. We've seen Spirit Breaker just farming, right? Just being greedy, keep pushing side lanes, use that Midas, farm some jungle. Feels like Zai's moves have not really been paying off for him very well this game, so perhaps going for that slower, greedier play is the way to go in this one. Oh, I say that. He's immediately charging his next target in Laurel, but not going to complete that one either. Just losing out on some pretty valuable farming time. We'll have to deny this mid-top power now as well.
Collapse in there in this vicinity. Three members of Liquid. They're going to find the tide to start. Looks like Mira just dropped very shortly after this engagement started. Collapse getting charged on. Nice dodge out from that ult from Nisha. But this is going to be way too much damage as Zai makes his way over as well. So 2 for Nada.
That was very nicely placed calling from Boxy, getting that double silence immediately. Really ruined the counterplay from Shadow Demon with disrupting. Just very aware of the plans that Spirit has to stall that fight out and maybe get reinforcements, and completely denied. So 2 kills for Liquid. Pretty much a dead even game right now. And they might find another one. Mikoshka.
Yep, not going to bother ulting there.
Yeah, would have died anyway.
Okay, level 12. 300 away from the Deso for himself. And we have a Midas, of course, on the side. That's the only... Oh, Laurel has Midas himself as well. Laurel. Now has that defusal blade. Big kill for Liquid. As the Zilly is ticking away ever so slowly to that magnetizing. You can see Mira gets blocked by Nisha as well.
Double kill.
Spirit needs to be really careful with what fights they choose to take. I think these couple of moves, when you don't have Spectre healthy enough to join, they're kind of just getting overwhelmed by the raw mobility and just skirmishing power of Liquid's team. This is the type of way you want to play against Tide, is to just not take 5v5s. If you can find 2v2s, 3v2s, whatever, you're looking great in those. Nisha has been very involved.
Headshot not going to be there, but the swatch is there from Nisha. Can easily hit it as well. The heals coming out, and yeah. That's a dead Yatoro again. So Liquid starting to create some serious momentum on their side for game number 2.
This is snowballing really fast. Maybe Silent was right. Spirit aren't the ones. I'm sure they can fix it. I want to say some of Spirit's worst minutes in the tournament, I think that's fair to say, have just transpired. And
yeah, making
they're going to try to make up for it.
Caster Curse reverse potentially. Gonna get the Ravage as well. Do they have the damage to get through? Disruption from Mira. And that is a dead Weaver. Big kill for Spirit. Desperately needed.
Very, very good. He was going to get off the time lapse. There was just enough of a gap between the rolling boulders that would have been a possible play for Mickey, and that comes off and survives, but he just poisons him in that disruption and kills him in disruption essentially. Yeah, they find a bit of return kill there, and I was going to say much needed. It's not that bad yet for Spirit because Spectre's trajectory is still looking pretty solid. Yatoro is closing in on the Sacred Relic, so we're looking at maybe a 20-21 minute Radiance. And their lineup has extreme late game potential, I want to say. Phoenix, one of the best scaling supports. Shadow Demon as well has massive late game potential. Tide can definitely be a big factor in late game situations too. And Earth Spirit 4, we used to... Oh, hang on.
Silence! He's got a lot of trouble. He gets deleted.
No, doesn't have any defensive item yet. He's working on that Manta.
I mean, the game was slipping away from Spirit, but now two extremely important kills for them, and they're back in this.
I think Mira got both of them as well, so the Shadow Demon getting a big bag here. Wonder what he's going to go for. See a pipe flying out now.
I was hoping for a Midas, honestly.
Yeah, what is the best build on Shadow Demon in this game?
I mean, is Ags... I mean, it only gets 2 charges now.
I mean, ultimately, this is going to be incredibly good, right? But maybe, do you buy the Shard and purge off the Decrepify from allies? You purge off... I don't know. I'm not sure if it's good enough. Maybe just go... He's going Aether Lens for now, and then we'll see what his next quick buy item is. Charge on Zai.
Another strike will be there as well. Do they have the lockdown? Yes, the dash is there.
If you want to treat that right, higher
Oh, I was going to say another Midas maybe coming for Boxy, but he actually switches up his build to be a Greaves instead. Helpful for the team.
That item is not very popular.
That's true.
Interesting choice to see coming out from him.
Doro, early blade mail. Nisha's going to pop that Rolling Thunder. Stadia trying to make his way over as well. Gets another blast. They have the vision now with that charge coming through, and that is a dead Spectre. Big kill for Liquid as they're just training him left and right, it feels like. Liquid now back in decent control of this game with a 4K lead.
Yeah, nowhere to Shadow Step to there. Didn't even try. You can't see any, so... Liquid making sure that when they go for these Spectre kills, they're not opening up a vulnerability on the other side of the map for him to escape to. So, clean stuff there. Picking up a Yules now on Mikoshka. Interesting, obviously. Key item against Spirit Breaker for the time being. Eventually, Zai is eyeing up a BKB already now, and at that point, Demonic Purge is your only real solution for this guy for quite a while. Right now, Yules can pay off big time if they find a fight they will be looking for. Speaking of items, Nisha almost completing the style 50 gold off. We'll get it from this wave, and that's a great way for him to break out of the Earth Spirit combination. Aggression on all fronts here, and you know, it's a 5K lead for Liquid. It's looking way healthier than the last game, to say the least. Now it's a matter of enforcing your will on the map, right? There's a specific type of fights you don't want to take, and I want to say those are the ones where you clump up and, you know, let the enemy team land all their big AoE spells, but a lot of skirmishes should be possible as long as you account for the Spectre factor in those. And I don't know, maybe you're also happy to farm. I haven't really seen this Weaver versus Spectre matchup late game. I'm just going off of memory about how this usually goes, but maybe it's clearly different now than it used to be confident.
A lot of the decisions that we're talking about come to team dynamics as well. We've seen a lot of teams very happy to go late game anyway. Yeah, like regardless of how the game is actually going. At first I thought they were just scared to go high ground in general, but it just feels like they feel like it's literally better just to wait 50 minutes, 3rd, 4th Roche, and that's when you take your time. But other teams we've seen actually able to implement a faster play style.
Tar now with the Radiance, so big upgrade for him. Late Mail Radiance. He's playing against currently 0 BKBs, so massive impact item. And a lot of damage onto Pugna as well. I think that's probably the target for Spirit that they would love to kill the most to begin the fight, is just get this Pugna out of play, remove the Decrepify threat, remove the heals onto the 4th afterwards. Tara is probably able to do it in a single stun. They just need to connect something onto Sania and he will kill. Toro again.
Cap Swash to start things out. It's going to use his ult to dodge out the first Rolling Thunder proc. Nicely done. Will he still find the damage? Dead shot. A little bit awkward though. Disruption now from Mira. It's going to be enough to actually save his life. It looks like it is. A bit of a miscue there from Liquid side as Insania might pay the price. Laurel continuing on. He has the magnetize apply to Insania, trying to TP out, but a little bit ambitious at this stage. Could have been a huge kill for Liquid, who are already sporting a decent lead, 6K right now.
It's one of those moments where you're kicking yourself a little bit, right? Because with maybe slightly better communication, that misplay doesn't happen, and at the same time, Yatoro with a great Shadow Step dodge there made their lives that bit harder. It's just one support at the end of the day that you lose, but realistically speaking, that was probably a dead Spectre that you ended up losing, so it kind of feels like you lost 2 or 3 heroes even in that engagement. But they're still looking very healthy on the gold, and as we all expected, guys, Spirit Breaker top net worth, minute 23. Truly one of the heroes of all time.
Octarine
keep it rolling.
is finished for Zai. Midas, maybe to come, I assume. The Shadow Blade. But he will be going for the Silver Edge eventually. As Tormy time! Pochka will get the shard. That is a very, very good one.
Yeah. Gets a lot better when he gets level 12, because then he has the protection of a much harder to kill Supernova, but still just a nice pickup in general. Yeah, as you mentioned, Zai will start working toward that Silver Edge. They recognize that it's an item they have to get. If he wasn't in a breaking game here, I don't think he would buy Shadow Blade even, but the break is just too important here. So you kind of have to go for it over other interesting items that we've seen people buy on this hero, such as Lincolns or Kayayashi.
Interesting.
Refreshers, you know. The whole catalog of items.
Yeah, he'll find his way there eventually. It's like any other Spirit Breaker game we've seen this tournament.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not going to fall off, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
A little something extra for the effort.
I mean, if a cow falls off, I don't think they can get back up. So that would be pretty bad if he did.
Falls off what, though? Yeah, a lot of things can't get up and fall off. But thank you very much for your insight.
Liquid with a 6K lead. We haven't seen a Roshan quite yet.
Arch from Zai.
Argent from Zai.
No silver, though.
Lap's going to pop the pipe. The strike's going to be there. Mira's now in the area with the disruption available. Trying to get rid of these blocks. And there's the Ravage from Collapse. Going to throw this around. Open from the striker as well. Disruption. Oh, actually gets some decent heals from this egg as well. Still nobody has died somehow. Laurel comes in. He's taking the brunt of the damage. There's the disruption, but now he's on enemy lines. Looks like that's going to be the sacrifice for Team Spirit. Collapse ends up living throughout the day here. He's going to jump right back in. Uses that anchor. That's the dead in the water onto the Pangolier. They're going to lose their Shadow Demon, though. And Yataro's going to have to back away because they just don't have the damage right now. And Mickey will be whipped into submission, but will just Shikuchi away. So 2 dead for Spirit, 0 for Liquid. That was the anchor being shown for the first time from Spirit's side.
And the panel talked about this, right? Spirit might run into damage problems in the mid-game, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Laurel, without that BKB, he just gets shut down. And there's 2 BKBs on the side of Liquid with massive impact there. The Spirit Breaker as well as the Weaver. Yeah, the fight's not over.
He's healing up quite a bit. Eventually will fall. Meter him actually connects onto 2. Mickey with a beautiful time lapse. Going to get both of his AP back. As a result, as Yatoro just get right-clicked down by Mickey on that Weaver. And Spirit loses a very valuable member. I don't think they can go any further. Collapse with no ult, of course, used in the previous fight. And Zai, well, that's a Spirit Breaker, so he's fine.
Yeah.
He's literal opposite as an ancient apparition. He's gonna get anchored though, and it's gone.
Yeah, I think Zai is gonna make a point out of not using bulldoze when he charges, because he will get Yuled a lot of the time by the Phoenix, and if he just reserves the bulldoze for after, if there's no demonic purge ready or Shadow Demon isn't in the play, he can very safely get out of there with just the bulldoze. Because as we've already established, there's a bit of a damage issue going on for Team Spirit right now. So another great fight here from Liquid. 10k up. First time they've got a 5-digit lead in this series. And it doesn't look like they're going to drop it anytime soon either, right? It feels like if Spirit are going to turn this game around, they need to get some big items. The BKB on Earth Spirit is definitely a start. The type of fight that he will be looking for is one that extends so long that the enemy BKBs expire and then he just keeps Magnetize running on targets during it. It's a difficult challenge to overcome for him.
Roach being attempted. In the meantime, Apochka going to get Nether struck with Zai. It is a 3v1.
Well,
I feel like he's going to get out because, again, Spirit Breaker. It's a 4v1, in fact. My goodness. Collapse was looking for the anchor, but KB is going to prevent all that.
Time Nisha will be grabbing the Aegis of the Immortal, choosing not to put it on Weaver here. We're very confident that Mickey can stay alive. I think this is a little bit dangerous to the extent that Mickey is playing very aggressively on his Weaver for now, and if he does get caught by some sort of Ravage combination where everything is available and Earth Spirit gets to chain all of his spells with his BKB, I think he can die. I guess the same could be said for the maybe it's just pick your poison, you know.
Nisha looks like that is going to be the completed Aghanim Scepter on the way. So Shield Crash will now proc Swashbuckles. Very valuable item in general. See this. Collapse will force back.
Zion courier has been
4 minutes on that Aegis. Looks like the tier 2 tower will be the choice for Liquid. See how many towers they can get. There's only one more tier 2 after this. Spirit's side in that mid lane. Right. Another strike. Get the charge combo. Deadshot gonna miss on Mira though.
Oh, he's gonna live from that.
Walk away. We'll be able to blink to safety. TP with the charge.
Nice ward.
Caster cursed by Cinder, and as usual, what a real pile.
I was like, he got really far away and he can maybe, you know, TP out, but there was a ward. So, nope. Just gets charged by 1,000 move speed cow, and that is a fate I do not wish upon anyone.
Very thick, very juicy.
Okay, that was not at all relatable to what I just said. That's fine.
Talk about a cow. Collapse. Gonna be found by Zai. Ooh, blink out. Doesn't quite have the silver edge yet. Zai's side, so no break.
Closing in on though. Kind of only need about 1,000 to go. Yashar is out picking flowers.
Buys his shard, so roll up is going to be available very soon for the mid laner on Liquid. He doesn't get silenced, of course, that's what that manta's for. The Poshka. To a call thanks to that shield crash. You can see the charge is coming as well. He's already used his dive. There's the calling, trying to use the Sunray to get to the high ground. He's going to get disrupted instead, and will die shortly after. Now the high ground
right into the ghost
attempt from Liquid. Is this too early? So 14K with 2 minutes on the Aegis. We've seen this go wrong for so many teams.
Make it with the Satanic is a way harder kill now than he was before.
That's true.
And looking at the damage issue character, I think you can poke and prod, but you could also just really constrict the map, because the thing that becomes increasingly difficult now for the Dire team is when they don't really know the spread of the enemy team, it's difficult to find the meaningful team fight. Like maybe you can smoke up and find one kill on somebody, but that's not going to change the state of the game. What you're really looking for is a really great trade-off. And Toro is going to get bugged here.
Yep. Minus armor. We'll take it out swiftly though. Walk away.
Kind of expecting a charge there from Zai. Might have been a cooldown. Regardless, they will continue to farm up all the lanes as well as the jungles. And this is another benefit to Spirit Breaker. We've been talking about this hero a decent amount, but any hero that can farm their own side of the map and join fights within seconds, just have that as a huge advantage, right? On Spirit side, it is the Spectre. But Spectre's farming speed is quite
Spirit. And they find Mickey the Ravage to start things out. He's dead. My goodness, that was quick.
Yep.
Now they kind of wish the Aegis was on him instead. He's going to have to wait 70 seconds and see how much Spirit can get out of this.
This is what I mean, right? This is what Spirit can do. They can smoke many heroes and find one kill, and now what, right? Like, it's obviously a really big kill. Killing the Weaver, they're going to be happy with it, but you're not changing the game state. You're not really going to be able to push out the waves. You're not going to be able to get control of the map. Now that Ravage is on cooldown, play very aggressively as Team Liquid. Wouldn't be surprised to see them taking some opportunities themselves now, maybe with a smoke. Their Aegis will expire soon, but I don't think Pango is in any imminent danger without the Ravage. Things just slow down, and Spirit get to get that kill essentially for free. That's obviously good news for them. We're looking to do the same thing again in a minute and a half.
Now, one thing I will say is Spirit do have a very good Roshoff team. Yes, with the lineup that they have with the AoE, you have to fight in that area.
That's just bounty.
Obviously, they do have quite a big deficit, but I think hero-to-hero matchup, they match up very well in that area. But we'll see if that ends up coming to be. They can try to contest this eventual second Roche. Now, that kill onto Mickey was just a little blip on the radar of Liquid, because they are in firm control of this game right now. See Mira spotted out. Will be taken out. Poshka will be the first to go. Okay.
That was a gem.
2 supports dead for Spirit.
Gem on the deck. Of course, because gem now in the hands of Zai, so Spirit recognizing that they have to try to take some risks of getting map control back, but get punished immediately, and that gem is just a big bold loss. And now Yatoro, Zai will only hit the illusion. Yatoro looks like he might be dodging the situation entirely. He's got to be really careful, though. Oh. If he had gone for a TP out there, that dead shot might have actually stopped it and he could have died, but he chose to run away on the right. Yeah. Live, but that was really a minor minefield right now for the side of Spirit. Very, very difficult.
You know, we don't get the opportunity to talk to the crowd too often. So how many Spirit fans in the audience? Okay. How many Liquid fans in the audience? How many Seattle Supersonic fans in the audience? There we go. Don't worry, you guys will have a team in a couple of years.
All right, so essentially, the crowd is hoping for a finals of Liquid versus the Supersonic. I'm sure they'll get that eventually. Liquid is going to get into basketball anytime.
Had to make one reference for TI before I get fired, so appreciate that.
It's incredible. You get fired every year.
That is true. Keep coming back like a bad fungus. 18, 19K lead for Liquid now, as they're just waiting for the old roach. We'll know in about a minute how long of a spawn that will be, but with the lineup that they have, they can just push these waves consistently. Zai could be on the opposite sides of the map. Very difficult to kill, regardless of his items, it feels like. And only has some items. Smoke up right now from Liquid, so for a pick off before the potential roach will spawn.
Spirit are trying to get to some sort of safe zone, right? They just warded there and they're playing around that vision. De-ward, and they just have to concede the area once again. So effectively they went from having 15% of the map to 20%, and then they lost to 5% again.
Right.
Very difficult.
There's the break, another strike to follow. Big charge as well. His half HP is Yatoro, but follow-up whatsoever.
There from Shadow Demon. Taro will retreat to base. Currently working on an Orchid. It's close to completion. Reckon he will. He probably wants to jump and kill the Pugna, but that's not even a possibility right now. Insania with the Eon Disc. Muerta has the Greaves against the Orchid, so that's not great either. It's tough, man. I feel like it's kind of hard to itemize in general for Spectre under these circumstances, because you kind of need a little bit of everything. And I suppose the mindset is we're going to itemize what is most impactful when BKBs drop. An Orchid can come into play there for sure. Get the shard onto that geomagnetic grip on allies.
Boy, I haven't seen a team love Tormy as much as me until now. Spirit loves it. Liquid does not give a shit. It's 35 minutes in the game. They haven't even taken their own yet. Look at that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of natural for the winning team to maybe not want to go there that much. You don't want to give up position.
Yeah, they're too good for it, is what you're saying.
I mean, you're essentially in such an offensive position that if you have to retreat to take the Tormentor, if the enemy team has any information that it's happening, you're kind of opening the door for them to take some control of the map back, so you just opt to not give them that chance. Might fall back for it later, but for now, I'm going to reap the rewards of having utter domination of the map. So we have the second rush, 80s and cheese, what's going on. Mickey this time around, cheese into the backpack of recognizing based on that previous kill that, yep, Spirit can indeed burst our Weaver. We get that extra layer of protection. Leading data. I mean, I wonder if Liquid wants to try to poke the high ground a little bit with this, or once again, if they feel like this will ever get out of hand, how long?
Demonic Purge onto Zai. Do they have the damage though? He has half HP that needs to be already activated. Going in really deep, they caught the angle with the Sun Ray as well. The Ravage is being expended as well. He's getting healed out from his stadium. This cow will live on. Vegans around the world rejoice. He lives. And now they're going to try to turn this around onto Yatoro, but Mickey, he's taking the brunt of damage. That's already the Aegis down. Zai getting one more charge off. Eventually he will fall though. So beef enjoyers enjoy, but Yatoro will drop as well, so there is a trade, and it's very heavy. 3 dead for the eventual kill onto the cow.
That was a really clutch save from Insania. Also a brilliant execution from Spirit, honestly. I did not think they were going to be able to pursue that Spirit Breaker kill at all, but clipping him on the edge, the Ravage and Sunray, that would have been a kill without Insania's save, and sure, they get him in the end, but it made them overextend so much further. Liquid come in and get quite a bit of a cleanup, and this could open the door for the high ground. Obviously, Aegis down, so you need to be a little bit careful on Mickey not to overcommit. This time around, there won't be a Ravage.
Let's have 40 seconds. Tier 3 tower down, base exposed. Collapse jumps in. To get the anchor, looks like it was Lotus to him instead. Another fortification. That's the last one for a while here from Spirit's side. This time on the Nether Blast. See that Deso just doing absolute work. That is a melee racks down. wants to go a little bit further, another 15 seconds for that. Oh, that's very precarious spot. Trying to get to the high ground. He's going to get disrupted instead. You can see Laurel going in with that BKB and the blade mail as well. A lot of damage being applied, but no kills as of yet.
Spectre about to spawn with Shadow Step here.
Indeed, they just need a little bit of vision. Laurel trying to provide that onto Boxy. They've got to get something out of this, and they will. It's just the support. They lose their melee racks. Cost them dearly.
Yeah, that looked like a bit of an awkward situation. I don't think Laurel meant to kick Collapse into the enemy team there, but get out alive on their tide still. Scary situation for them. Liquid with a good pickup of that melee rack. Pointed out, and they still have their cheese. I don't know if they're going to consider this enough of an advantage to look for more, or if they're going to fall back into the...
I thought you were going to say enough of an advantage to go for block of cheese, the first ever in TI.
Yeah, has that? Okay, have you seen a pro game?
Not one.
Okay.
I feel like some people I would have heard about it, so I'm just going to assume that it's never happened.
That needs to be a little bit made
or good. Just make it good. Jeez. Zai is now level 25. Yep. He's got a Stormcrafter. That's some nice move speed and mana.
Goes for the 20% greater bash chance here, so now up to 37. He's decent attack speed as well with his Silver Red.
He was broken by the creep temporarily. That's going to be broken by the Cowan 7. He's actually going to use his ult onto the other side. Beautifully done. They kill off Nisha right off the bat, and Zai, he's left kind of alone with Mickey standing on the outskirts. The egg is placed with that Sun Ray being applied. Zai will charge away. In the end, it looks like only one will be lost, although the chase is not completely over. Still a pretty damn big kill for Spirit.
The timing on that was actually pretty ridiculous. As Zai was opening on all, he Shadow stepped over to the other kill. So not only did they kill the Tango, but they also saved their Spectre from a really awkward situation. That could not have been any more perfect for Spirit. They get a kill and they get a tower. It's not the biggest of deals, but you know, they're staying afloat. The lead hasn't really grown very much, and you're seeing the win probability kind of not really shifting in the last 10 minutes, so give it enough time, it might just start dipping down slightly. And they're getting some pretty key items, right? So Laurel getting the Axe is obviously enormous, right? This is a key way of saving from the Spirit Breaker combination onto his Spectre. There's something that you cannot break, so as long as he's in position, which he should very easily be able to get with Rolling Boulder and BKB, save a target of his choosing and kick him out. Or he could use it to kick someone into terrible positioning because Liquid don't really have the best save. Finding a support, kicking them 2,000 range away, they're probably just going to die on the spot.
41 minutes in, it's only one melee racks. Now it's 18k lead, which is, like you said, it is somewhat substantial, but it hasn't really grown that much. Spirit fighting back, and the later this game goes, the more comfortable I'm saying that their lineup is just better, for at least, but a lot.
Always such a wild card, but yeah, in this game, in this game, at the very least, there are solutions.
Oh my God! Collapse! Oh, he turns into stone though. Nicely done. He's actually gonna live as a result, but it's gonna cost Laurel his life. Oh boy, that is not worth trading a position 2 for a 3 and a 5 now. Spirit down a 3v5, and they're gonna lose more than just that range racks.
Did Mickey double crit there or something?
Couldn't tell you.
Tide almost instantly died. That was ridiculous, and that's okay. Well, we have all our theory crafting going about how late can this game go. Well, if you lose 2 heroes like that without buyback, you're going to get mega now. I don't think Spirit have any hopes of defending this without... Oh, actually, Earth Spirit buyback did come up, so maybe you could go for some sort of a hold with 4 heroes here, but this is going to be really, really difficult.
There is the Ravage to start. There's a buyback as well. The egg with the Sun Ray. In addition, Zai. They actually deleted Mickey. Somehow locked him down 100 seconds without their Weaver now. Can Liquid get away without any other casualties, though? Boxy is going to get anchored. Going to have to fight his way out of this one. Looks like Zai wants to continue on. Gets off the charge as long as he has a BKB. BKB's galore, in fact. There's the Rolling Thunder from Nisha with the roll-up. He used to lock several heroes down from Spirit, but do lose their support in the end. Nice roll onto the high ground. Finds Insania. Eon Disc will just delay the inevitable. So 3 kills in favor of Spirit. They defend what's looked undefendable and indefendable, whatever the word.
Super close to being 4 kills because the Pango Collapse cast Hex during the end of that Rolling Thunder, and it expired just before the Rolling Thunder did the Hex duration. Otherwise, he would have been caught on his TP out, and that could have been big for Spirit. I mean, it's still pretty solid given the circumstances. We're now kind of back to the gold that we had before, the 18k lead, but you're down another lane of Baron, so there's going to be more problems coming out for Spirit to solve. Still, given the circumstances, that could have just been the end of the game instead, so I guess you've got to take the small victories you can get.
Collapse with that Meteor Hammer. To be able to take out this tier 2 tower, looks like.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Go for the anchor smash on buildings, by the way.
They find
Yatoro. Disruption's going to keep him safe for the time being. In fact, saves him in the end.
Oh, Demonic Purge.
Okay. Demonic Purge applies him. Collapses the area. Now it's a big charge from side, trying to keep the rest of Spirit at bay. But the anchor's applied to the Pangolier. That is a dead Nisha. Does have buyback. Just waited out. Still had the cheese as well. Zion Company trying to find more than just the Shadow Demon. They're going to find Kochka. Like he's done so. Oh, just barely getting out. Was the tide. Collapse does live. Lots of back and forth in this game number 2. With a huge kill on. I feel like when either team just finds one hero isolated, they just get deleted instantly.
Yeah, this can snowball very quickly in fights for both teams. You see the quick kill on Pang. Well, the good news for Liquid in that situation was that Supernova wasn't ready, so they were able to collapse onto the Phoenix and bring him down. Love the purchase of Lincoln's, by the way, on him identifying, okay, I mean, we have to just solving this. This is not an item you will use Phoenix buy after Yules, but probably the best choice you have in this game, so you just try to stay afloat. That was also a refresher reveal from Collapse there. So a lot being expended from Spirit, and honestly not really the best result, right? Considering that they found the Pango kill first. That went as well as they would have hoped, and now they're also going to lose the road. They have no Ravages. Completely uncontestable. Pick up the goodies, so it'll be a refresher shard on this.
Will Zai have 2 refreshers?
Do you give it to?
Boxy will hold on.
Boxy holding it, yeah. So he'll have 2 Pierces of the Veils. Not really the best hero in this game.
No.
I feel like maybe he should pass it on.
I think he's
maybe
acting
probably holding it for Pango, right?
Yeah, he's being a courier, right?
A golden thread.
They do have the 2 cheeses still. So, block of cheese enjoyers out there rejoice. Definitely a possibility.
What if you got 4 bigger cheese?
Big cheese.
Does this look? No, actually, it's not a quarter, is it? 6th. That's a good idea. Block of cheese is too easy to make. Let's make it 8 cheeses. We've had some games this tournament that could have almost.
It could have. Yeah, could have. Smoke from Liquid, winning with 25k lead. All about the buyback situation, especially for Spirit, is will likely just be in their base.
Yep.
The engagement has been suspended here.
Still holding onto the refresher in Boxy's backpack. Falling is a pretty filthy spell, and having 2 of them back to back is very good, but one. Anyway, here comes the siege tower. Will be falling to just the siege creeps.
Dire's bottom tower has
He's
fallen.
going to show himself. Look away. To be very careful here. Despite having 2 cheeses in the 8, as we have seen a lot of high grounds get punished.
Yep. And Toro is huge. It's worth keeping in mind. This is a level 26 Spectre with 6 slots. There's still a bit of room to grow, but he is very, very strong. Wants to finish his Abyssal Blade, and then we're maybe get place the treads, and then we're at the maximum output.
He has Nullifier and Bloodthorn.
Yeah, he can kill this Pugna very fast. Can kill anyone really fast, essentially, if they just find the Ravage opener. Liquid are very cognizant of that fact. Let's let the Nether Blast do it. Nice step.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, you'd think that with the Dark Willow we saw the other day. Basically a trebuchet from Glow Ray.
อุ้ยหลุดติดโคน
The Ravage to try to put everything on the Mickey. That's just the egg though. He is surrounded. Zai coming with the charge. Isha with the Rolling Thunder as well. The egg is placed. Spirit, Liquid actually
โอ้
wants
ย
to
ดู
stick around.
ตาลูกนาแรง
Just to kind of be able to fight this. And Zai Able to charge out with that refresher. Boxes to the top of his own, trying to apply as much pressure as possible. But now he's in no man's land. He's going to use the refresher charge that we were really
tạm
very
biệt
proud
team
of.
Spirit.
The refresher pike.
Game 2 là của chúng tôi.
Oh dear.
Game 1 anh bet cho Liquid thua.
Do hold on.
Thì thua thật đấy anh.
Collapse refreshed his Ravage and
Game
didn't
này
have mana for it.
Liquid thắng là 1-1 mà.
That could have probably gone a lot better for Spirit
Hay
than
quá
it
anh ạ.
did, which is kind of scary news for Liquid, right? You have all these advantages, you're trying to push high ground, and despite only one Ravage coming out, you still didn't get anything out of it. And I love this from Spirit, you know,
Tiến
take some
lên nắm đồ đấy.
initiative, play on the second
Lên
Ravage,
cả
and
MKB
you
nữa
know
kìa.
there's no Aegis. Maybe you can catch them before the BKBs come off cooldown again, and that would lead to a really big moment for you. Spectre can take care
Spectre
of
không
the
lên
base,
Radiant.
step at the ready.
Lên trên
Scepter
tay.
for Zai. Beautiful. Level 20. That's okay.
Okay, well,
Oh, bounty room. Don't mind if I do.
OpenAI would have killed him there, but that's the kind of reactions you need.
Yep, true.
Xuất hiện cái chạc luôn.
GPT to play your game of Dota for you. Yeah. Rolling Thunder.
Ôi, hay thế nhở?
Gets a stun on the
Quân được bóng ạ.
trying to play as much pressure, but there's a disruption.
Hay quá.
Getting a lot of the damage here, but now the pressure being applied to Mira, who dies and now buys back. Prepify. Onto Yotaro, he's going to get onto the high ground safely. The whole lot was lost.
Mẹ chưa combat xong đã.
One support buyback that they have to worry about is Foxy getting gone on now by Yotaro. Nice dead shot, keeping him at bay. Looks like he'll get away safely as well, so this might be a next Roche situation for Liquid. It's really hard to go higher.
It is really difficult.
I mean, if you find the Shadow Demon again, that's,
Yeah,
can't buy back, so maybe that's the main target.
absolutely. The best kill they can possibly get, and he dies very fast, if any. It's a matter of getting one charge connection or a couple of swing. Weaver might just go from 100 to 0. Keeping in mind that Miro doesn't have a defensive item. You have Blink Dagger, no Aeon Disc, no Ghost Scepter, that sort. Try to stay alive against some hard-hitting heroes is everything.
Tormy, number 3, if I'm correct. Carl will get that shard. Which means, already have one now? On their team? No, Mira does not. Wow, the support. After all that, the support still didn't get a shard. That's a lot of 50-50s that he's lost.
Yeah, I think they would actually kind of like to have the demonic.
Yep. Oh, Liquid are like, oh,
Nhanh
I
nào
forgot
em
this
Liquid
existed.
ơi.
Okay. Sadie, enjoy your worthless shard.
Maybe they watched Bedroom. It came too dangerous. Tormentor has killed Bedroom more times than they have killed that.
They have buffed this Pugna shard over the course of the last couple of years. Certainly better than it used to be.
Fast range on the drain into it.
I mean, it's either that or the Muerta one, which as a support. Oh, she really has it. She has it.
Yeah.
They must have killed Tormy already.
Precious bounty.
It's okay. Or the guard on the support.
It's no grab ally. Although Toronto Tokyo literally never bought the shard. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to stun his teammate. Don't know how to click out of it.
He had bigger items to get.
Yeah.
He wanted to set the world record for most health on a hero pro game, which he might have actually done.
That's true. The shard doesn't help with
He got 14k health at one. Might have not been the one today, because he had another game as well where he had the same build on dying.
Absolutely absurd. Giant's Ring, Art, tagging himself here. Boy, indeed. Chanel with a double damage model.
Ôi rồi ôi thì
They can hold on to
Để
this
đi nữa.
for the next Roche off.
Thế thì bay nhà đi nào.
That would be huge.
Love the placement from Zai here. He's
Double damage.
breaker, waiting for anything. Also maybe bounce. We'll go here.
There's a charge to start things out for Zai. Looking for another strike, but the disruption is there. He's going to get cleansed now. He's already at half HP. He's going to pop his refresher, try to get away. The Rolling Thunder down in with Nisha. Too much damage, focusing all their efforts on the Laurel, who's kind of on the sideline. He can turn himself into stone to stay alive. They lose the Shadow Demon, though. Now the roll away from Laurel. He's pursued by
Địt
the
mẹ vãi lồn.
double damage. A lot. Oh almost gets insta-give, and now the charge is there to try to finish him off, and he does
Chết luôn con Tam Tử ạ.
Will buy back. Two members of Spirit with still with their ultimate, so Ravage is still available.
Vãi luôn, quả đi mẹ con kiệt bật đau thế nhở.
Yataro's kind of all alone in Sadia now. BKB, okay? He died. The nullifier's there to finish him up with Yataro. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? You're getting surrounded yourself.
Chạy đi con chó, giả tổ rồi chúng tôi.
100 seconds of no Spectre. The Ravage finally comes out. So two members of would do die, but they're ancient exposed.
He was zoning 3 heroes for like 10 seconds.
Mickey looking to get the rest of the buildings here to ensure victory in this game number 2 for Team Liquid. 2 buybacks now from Liquid's side. Mega creeps in their favor, and now it's a 5 versus 3 without the carry from the side of Spirit.
Hay quá ăn rồi. Ăn kèo rồi, 1.7 thôi.
Right click that with that Desolator, so his GGs are called. Series is going to game 3, which I'm glad to see because
Ăn hết ạ. Tuyệt vời.
Nice bounce back from Liquid. After that first game, they solved their problems from that first game very elegantly here with a couple of adjustments in the draft, right? They went away from this high cooldown reliant big ball kind of strategy that they ran there, and now they're playing more skirmishy.
Hay quá. Liquid ơi, cá ngựa ơi. Đánh hay, game hay. Shit, game hay quá. Game 3 rồi. Mà chúng nó bảo game trước còn hay hơn ạ. Trận VP hay vãi đái. Holy fuck. Cái trận VP tối hôm qua chúng nó bảo hay vãi cả đái luôn. Vãi gì nhỉ? VP VB.
Anh vẫn nghĩ là có cái gì đấy mạnh hơn. Team Spirit mạnh hơn.
Em đang sợ là Team Spirit bị loại ạ. Ủa. Thế thì hủy mẹ diệt AR vô địch rồi.
Khó Team Spirit bị loại lắm.
Thì khó thật, nhưng mà để cho giải đấu trở nên hấp dẫn hơn. Má phải cho thằng GG này bị loại đi chứ.
Vừa đánh hay mà, vừa đánh hay thật.
Thế nhỉ? Mọi người chỉ mong thì mẹ GG nó thua.
Anh vẫn nghĩ là Team Spirit ăn game cuối.
Bet đi anh, để em xem nào kèo hôm nay. Bên pick. Ồ, hôm nay có cứ phải bet cho kèo bóng rổ under hợp lý.
Cái gì đấy? Tại Liquid thắng kìa.
Oh shit, tất nhiên là Liquid thắng rồi anh. Em cường bet cho Liquid cơ mà.
Nhưng mà Team Spirit vẫn trên kèo. Team Spirit không lên nhả con Barathum thôi, tự tin quá.
Cũng hay.
Đánh trên kèo thật, đánh trên kèo.
Từ từ, thế là như thế nào rồi? Tỷ số như thế nào rồi?
Một đều anh ơi.
Đều.
Trận game 3 hay nhỉ?
Đều bài.
Game 3 hay
vai đái luôn.
Trên kèo sẽ ăn back đi, nếu mà Team Spirit không nhả mấy con meta ra thì bạn sẽ theo Team Spirit luôn từ ván back đầu tiên luôn.
Nhưng mà em thấy con Weaver khỏe quá anh ạ.
Weaver khỏe, bên kia đánh hay hơn, bên kia nhả là vấn đề là một con Barathum ấy. Thằng Giai nó đánh con Baradian vãi lìn.
Được mèo trà kinh ấy. Mà quả vừa rồi con
Giai nó đánh con Bara
quá Bara điên. Có mấy quả thì mẹ thoát ganh vãi cả đái luôn. Kinh thật.
Giai cũng không thể chơi thế được đâu.
47.000 đam ạ. Và ai cả đá.
Trận cuối của hôm nay đây đúng không?
Đưa chưa anh ơi.
Đó.
Mới
Xong
trận 3
vẫn còn
thôi.
trận cuối là FTD với cả Azu mới là game hay nhất.
Đúng rồi. Không nhưng mà trận
Chưa đánh à?
chưa đánh anh ạ.
Đôi đấy chưa đánh à?
Chưa.
Tại vì vừa nãy có một trận VP 80 mấy phút.
Không nhưng mà trận VP BB hay lắm anh ạ. Em ngồi xem YouTube mà thì giằng giằng co vãi cả lìn.
Thế thằng nào thắng?
BB thắng anh ạ.
VP á?
BB Bet boom thắng. Mà đánh sướng mẹ luôn, nhìn cái đánh thích vãi. Mà đáng đồng tiền đấy. Bắt sáng em dậy ngồi xem thích vãi.
Xem máy đi, live tweet đi em.
Thích
Còn xem ban pick.
Ok anh.
Các chương
Ok
trình của nó.
anh. Đợi em xíu.
Có đánh thì vào xem sau.
Browser.
Trận 2 hay đấy, trận 3 hay đấy. Ui toàn trận hay luôn, mùa đúng là TI lắm thế là cũng hay.
Cứ đến lúc thì nó lại hay. Chance window.
And there, yeah, right there. That guy in, yeah. The most commends in Dota 2 in the audience right there. Congratulations, the most commended. The round of applause. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know who the hell that is.
You don't know that? Come on! That's just some random.
Just some random. But I do have one actually super special person that I'm
Yatoro
gonna find right now. This one's on you, buddy. Give us some more facts. I'll be right back.
Okay. You go investigate. We're looking for people with interesting stories. So actually, throughout the
Thấy chưa anh ơi?
event, we may actually reach out to you because we've got these outlier
Trận một
players.
trận một kết quả như thế nào nhỉ?
Trận 1 Team
Spirit thắng.
Is the most played hero.
Nhưng mà
Everyone in this
có áp đảo không?
áp đảo không? Không. Không áp đảo.
But not the case. It's actually a
Trên
support
kèo
hero.
nhưng mà không áp đảo, bên kia nó vẫn có cái hay của nó.
Hero this year. Who we got?
Bên kia đánh khá điên.
Which doctor? Yeah. Which doctor?
It is Witch Doctor! Well done! All right, let's go to the other end. Who is the least played hero in this arena? Any names? You there. Who did you say?
Chen.
That is correct. Not a particularly hot take. I'm pretty sure for the dawn of time, Chen is the least picked hero. I'll give you one more. There are 3 players in the audience that have given out over 1,000 commands. Is that earned? I don't think that there are that many Maynard players in Dota. You're just handing these out like candy. Have some respect for your commands. And I believe Slacks has now found someone with a very interesting story.
Thank you, Tsunami. Yes, I am here with a very special man. What is your name, sir?
Brian.
Brian. Now, you've been to a TI before?
I have. 5.
5 of them? Which ones? Name them immediately.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Ở rồi còn chưa chơi à?
Chưa anh ơi, trận đấy em nghĩ là sẽ mình phát cả đà.
Put a bunch of random ones. So, we've been looking out in the arena.
Hai người Trung
Lâu
Quốc.
lắm rồi mình mới lại thích xem hai thằng Trung Quốc đánh nhau. Ngày xưa mình ghét hai Trung Quốc đánh nhau ấy đi.
Trung Quốc bây giờ đánh hay như thế mà mấy năm liền không vô địch. Thương không chịu được. Cần phải
Brian here
cổ vũ người Trung Quốc.
has played one of the highest percentage of Dark Willow games out of everyone in the arena. In fact, 93% of the games that this man has played in the last several months have been on Willow. You are in the top of the entire arena. Why?
I like people to hate me.
Okay. How are you feeling? Do you have any advice out there for the pro teams as a man who has more top 1% of the Willow games in this entire thing, including the pro players?
Just be a jerk.
Vẫn chưa ăn pick à? Vừa mới xong hả?
Willow, good or bad?
Oh, if you can last long enough It's really good.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, thank you, sir. Did you
Ui,
ever think that you were playing that
thằng
much
Tofu là
Willow,
người
that
Việt
you
đấy.
outclassed every single other person in the arena?
I had no idea.
Anh ạ,
Keep going, you sick
Quang một
freak.
người
I
à?
love it, my
vãi
friend.
thật
Thank you
mà.
so much.
Anh lên Dota 2 Community VN mà xem.
Be receiving an email
Sao
if you find out
comment
what
ở đấy à?
Thằng anh trai của thằng Tofu đăng bài mà.
twisted stuff.
Thế á?
Tofu của GG á.
Đây này, nó bảo là thằng bé lần đầu tiên được đi Pub Storm là T8 mà ở Việt Nam mà.
Thế thằng Tofu á, thằng Tofu ở GG hả?
Vâng, nó ghi thế này. Anh trai
Dota thì nếu tin được đâu.
là thế à? Thế thì
Tao phải lên xem Tofu ở đâu ngay.
Đức hả?
nó ghi ở đây mà.
Gì để đéo vậy? Mẹ mấy cái thằng.
Còn xem rất thớ vẩn. South Korea, Germany. Thì con đéo lên đến Việt Nam.
Thằng bé lần đầu tiên đi nghe.
It would be sad if the final game was
Rất là
decided
mất
on a
dạy.
conflict. Hopefully not. It's actually quite funny. I remember Betboom specifically saying when the patch had come out for a little
Team 3
bit,
cổ vũ Team Spirit nhỉ?
Không, cổ vũ Liquid đi, em cần biết Liquid chứ.
I'm fairly sure first pick is better.
Spirit thì mà chung kết nó hay.
Every single team takes first pick. As soon as if you win
Anh muốn Akuray gặp Liquid ở chung kết.
Or just don't pick Titan.
Khó thế.
No, you're wrong.
Dễ hơn tí đi anh ơi.
Yeah, please no Titan.
Yeah.
No Titan? Okay, anything else you don't want to see in this game?
I don't really know, to be honest. I just think the game is gonna revolve around like Liquid trying to break through Team Spirit's creep. Team Spirit is playing the
Andy
style that
Batcave.
has come to us. If we're gonna have like uncontested farm for 30 minutes, we're gonna win. But Liquid's probably gonna just look to break that. And we'll see if they'll manage to do that.
Now, there's one thing in the previous game that stood out to me. It was a fairly long game still, right? And this was a game
So fast score.
T1 was supposed to have tempo, and they did. They won the lanes, they took the fights after that, and it took a very long time for them to actually be able to close the game out. And that is not necessarily on Team Liquid, that seems to be a trend throughout the entire international. But surely that is something that you can also draft yourself an easier path in T, because going high ground is always difficult. I feel like you can help yourself with that, with the draft.
You can, for sure, and I think this argument about going high ground is mainly on the point you're facing. Like, for example, Spirit, if they had one more element of early game aggression, then going high ground for Liquid would be a lot harder, because the fights that they take on the map would be more difficult. They'd have slightly less resources and items, so when they do break the high ground, it's a little bit harder. But what you're seeing from teams like Liquid in this game, gaming when we had the listenings with Quinn, the logic is don't try to go high ground with 10k, 20k, 30k, get 40k gold, and then you break down your opponent. And I think that's what we're seeing some of these Western European teams do, at least a little bit, when they know they can't simply break the base.
Yeah, but in that previous game, it will also make sure that Team Spirit, they had the Spectre. Traditionally, Spectre is always, you know, ultimate late game hero. Is that just not the case, Matu?
The nature of the game is usually the game gets decided in 15-30 minutes. So even if you are the earlier lineup and the game goes later, but you're controlling the map and getting more resources, so that way your heroes scale better. So it's all about that, because like with early game lineups, you don't necessarily need to end the game. You just need to control the game.
That's
You
true.
need to
And you go
control
later,
the
though,
game.
You also have a higher chance of potentially throwing the game, which is also always a risk. And speaking of throwing, T's gonna practice his throwing arm right
Mà
now.
lâu vào game thế.
I think he needs to lose his headset for a little bit first, because this is gonna be a serious ordeal. He actually has practiced the everything, his arm, his shoulder. I don't know, will your jacket not prevent you from using the full range of your arm movement? You choose. All right, let's see how far he can get this one then.
Throw it at the meatball guy. Throw it at the meatball guy.
Ooh, okay, that's like fourth row, you know?
Vứt quà.
That one, that's a candle, by the way, if you're wondering, a candle that you can get in the
Ôi, đi mẹ ra đẹp dai thế nhờ.
again for the third game. Tiga will throw his final.
Thôi, chuẩn bị vào game rồi anh ơi.
We soon will be ready to go into a game number 3. And I want an objective answer here, Sheep, because with having both teams, that's why I asked you and not Natu. No. We've seen a lot from these two teams, and both teams coming into this upper bracket semifinals with only dropping one game total. We saw Team Spirit drop it against Virtus Pro. Team Liquid in the groups dropped a game to Azure. They now obviously dropped a game against each other. But do you feel like there would be a clear winner this game?
Rồi em sẽ đéo bật ở đây nữa. Tốn dung lượng vậy, tốn băng thông thế nào. Quay lại với Dota nào.
Oh yes. Hello.
Hello.
Thing that they could have put out there to lose. Like if they both had two even draws, I don't know if that would be a clear winner. I think they would be even.
It feels like both of these teams are being the ones that's more proactive. They're showing how world class they are because they're not falling victim to their own misplays that other teams are doing when they're trying to be aggressive. Like a Spirit with CK in these game 1, obliterate the map. Obliterates the map. Game 2, you got Weaver, Spirit Breaker, you get the early lead. They don't make mistakes. They get 3-4 Roshans, they secure the game, right? So I feel like these are the two type of teams that they can win out games much quicker than others because they are so disciplined. So the draft is so important for these two teams.
And it's a reason they did well. So during this
Em bet cho Liquid rồi nhá.
usually don't throw games. If they get an advantage, that's actually one of the things that I've welcomed. When you get an advantage,
Tích tiếng gì nữa, chúng ta phải có niềm tin vào những kẻ dai. Pick con gì thì cũng thắng thôi.
Cùng nhờ, thứ duy nhất khiến cho anh bet cho Liquid chính là dài.
Đúng.
Thế nhưng mà anh lại bet cho nó game 1.
Đi vãi view.
Tăng cường đấy. Nó pick nó có Liquid chỉ vì cái red thôi.
Đúng rồi. Giết quá điện đi để ăn tiền.
Nhưng thực ra dài dùng đéo. Cơ nó chỉ nhìn thấy cái red.
Để hiểu nhầm về em rồi.
Nhìn thấy cái red xong rồi thì mẹ cố nghĩ ra một cái lý do gì đấy để tự tiếp tục bản thân.
Giết này quá đẹp bạn, giết này đẹp vãi đái luôn này. Thề luôn, nhìn quả giết game 3 này 1.3 cơ mà. Win game 3 là 1.3 cơ mà. Ôi, có kèo thì mẹ under 42 phút này anh này. 1.9 luôn mà. Hấp dẫn nhỉ.
Con này bọn nó đẹp đến chết. Game cuối.
Em thấy toàn under thôi.
Đưa đó trận vừa rồi 50 mấy phút còn gì.
Mày đây. Đi cân hay sao? Ấn này nó bị thoát à? Sorry mọi người. Ôi, đây là Mimiposa.
No, you go for it. Actually, pick up my point. And we'll see what you come up with. Anyway, last game it actually.
Chưa anh ơi, đang check máy.
Formation that creates chaos. Spirit Breaker creates chaos. Spirit wants to play like ABC. We're gonna egg. We're gonna play check the egg, and it's gonna be like all the 5 pieces of the puzzle need to be there. But when you have Pango and the Spirit Breaker in the mix, they're gonna break that. So
it's a great disruptor in that sense. Not the hero, but just the overall effect of the hero. We did see that in action. I feel like one thing that Team Liquid lacked in previous games.
Mẹ cái thằng người Trung Quốc kia gõ
team fight heroes. I mean, it worked out, don't get me wrong, but from a viewer's perspective...
Liquid có những thằng nào nhỉ? Đọc tên em phát này nào. Sao cơ?
Liquid đúng không anh? Liquid. Đợi em mấy giây.
Slightly away from teams going for like the standard look of a draft, right? And
đây.
Look at Spirit's lineup.
Chúng ta có Nisa.
Classic approach, but
Nisa, Zai, Mike, Boxy và Insania.
Insania. Cũng toàn cái tên mẹ top tier rồi gì.
Top đây.
Nhưng mà nhìn toàn mấy cái tên của team Secret cũ đúng không?
Cũng khá. Có cả
mấy thằng này Cảm giác mấy thằng này thằng nào cũng đã từng ở Secret thì phải.
Đúng vậy.
Không nhỉ? Hình như thằng nào cũng đã từng ở Secret một thời gian. Cả 5 thằng.
Cả 5 thằng.
Hình như không phải Boxy thôi. Chắc không có thằng Boxy
ngày
đâu.
xưa đánh ở đâu nhỉ? Boxy này.
Còn 5 thằng kia hình như là cả Team Spirit hết. Đã từng chui vào Team Spirit hết.
Cũng đúng.
Đúng không?
Ở đây không thấy ghi là Boxy đã từng ở Team Spirit đâu.
Chỉ có mỗi Boxy là không phải ở Team Spirit đâu. Nhìn mẹ đọc mấy cái tên nhìn Team Spirit vãi lìn. Ở đâu? Secret, Team Secret vãi lìn.
Could potentially leave the tree, and then if Liquid want to take it, they can respond with the
Ui,
Phoenix.
4 con đầu ban là con Primal Beast, Para, BB với Twin. Còn bên Liquid thì ban Enchant, Phoenix với
Mipoka.
Ôi,
Pick của thằng Mipoka.
Pick Brew Master. Pick Brew.
Cái nào Brew á?
Con Liquid Pick the Brew anh ơi.
Liquid Brew.
And Brewmaster Matu is in a really good place right now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I understand. Don't really know myself, but it's a good hero.
Good hero. It's all good.
Cường làm bình luận viên cho anh này để anh gần.
Super potent. Go for like some earned vessel. I think because games go longer as well on the hero, you're not in this awkward spot where you need to itemize so early.
Bây giờ đến lượt pick của phía Team Spirit. Cái con đầu ấy. Em thấy nếu mà ban pick đến cái lượt pick đầu là kiểu gần như là lộ phải tầm 80% cái bài đánh của trận đấy rồi. Hai pick đầu.
Theoretically, if we're talking Brewmaster is a good hero. Okay, back in my day, Brew was always a bad hero. So I'm
Mua ta, mẹ loại pick mua. Grim Shop.
Gì? Có người ta?
Không chưa, Grim Shop first pick cho Team Spirit. Cái pick đầu luôn.
Grim Shop hot pick. Grim Shop hot pick được liền.
Em thấy Grim Shop lúc nào nó cũng khỏe. Công ty của nó im ba vãi lìn nè.
The worst thing is when you see a brew first pick and you rely on your cores to lock him down, because then when your supports are smoking up looking for the gank.
Uầy, đi mẹ ra Hải Phòng này.
Already Spirit trying to answer it very slightly there.
Đánh hay mới tự hơi chốc tí thôi. Đánh hay, thằng Mike đánh hay mà. Mike gì hay phết. Ồ, ban
Mike Việt à? Gốc Việt à?
Là người Hải Phòng ấy. Ban tốt đến từ phía Liquid, đúng rồi. Liquid là nhầm, Mike là người gốc Hải Phòng luôn. Mike Vũ.
Nhưng mà quốc tịch thì ở đâu?
Quốc tịch Mỹ, đi từ nó ở Hải Phòng xong rồi nó đi sang cùng mẹ nó. Ô, ban CK đến từ phía của Liquid. Ồ, thế là ban gần như những con đang hot pick rồi đấy. Ôi Yatoro đang cầm thì quả giấy rất nhiều đi hình vẽ. Còn cái thằng châu Á mặc đội kia cầm giấy luôn mà.
Mẹ thằng carry cầm giấy.
And yeah, for Liquid at least with his Brewmaster, I'd like to see some Willow, some Sky.
Yatoro bảo đưa cho ta một con carry. Con carry đéo nào được.
Thế thì cầm cái giấy để làm cái gì? Nói thế nhỉ? Mấy giờ rồi? 9 giờ rồi mà nói thế.
We got the Pugna band out on the side of Team Spirit, and two heroes removed on the side of Team Liquid that would do exactly what you just said, T, with the Tusk and the Chaos Knight. They would work best with the Ink Spell. So we got those out of the pool, and it's Team Spirit's turn to pick, and this is, I believe, one of the few times, and one of the first times in this series that both teams go into this second pick phase with this much bonus time left, which I think is a good sign. It means the teams generally are pretty happy with what
kiến cho đi mẹ Team Spirit.
I mean, I love Weaver personally. I felt like even in the last game he did great.
Khỏe
I mean,
thế
you
nhở.
can see the damage output this hero puts out on a planner. Planner just disappeared from the face of
Thực
the
sự
earth.
là cái xa có con kiến này thì là cái vấn đề đấy. Nó lướt qua là nó có thể farm một phát là hết các bạn cả bầy grip, hoặc là đi đánh nhau nó lướt qua đánh thì cả team đều bị dính. Holy fuck. Tự nhiên nhá, mọi người có để ý là bản này có một cái vấn đề là rất nhiều con hero tay dài được thêm một cái skill giống như kiểu đánh AoE. Ví dụ như con Cho và con Weaver. Con Weaver, cả hai con đều thêm cái xạ, đều có khả năng ném thêm một target, nghĩa là attack nhiều target hơn. Em nghĩ là con Chôn ấy, con Chôn bây giờ cũng khỏe. Em thấy con Chôn cái sạc nó khỏe quá.
Bị ban Chôn nhá?
Chưa.
Anh thấy Yatoro cầm Chôn
khỏe vãi đái không, nhưng mà công nhận con Chôn khỏe, Yatoro cầm Chôn khỏe vãi. Bây giờ có con nào có thể counter được con Weaver này?
Slightly broken. Like what do you play against it? In the past, it was always silences that are good.
Bloodseeker is good if it's a good hero. There's always like these Giga carries, Faceless Voice. They're always the best against Weaver. But something tells me like Yatoro doesn't come to the stage and just play Weaver second. It's like that's not his jam. He wants to get last pick or second last pick. Pick me that Faceless Void or a Spectre last pick. You know, it's like
một bên là Weaver, Grim rồi đúng không?
Đúng rồi, Grim và Weaver cho Team Spirit, và Team Liquid vừa pick Brewmaster và Dark Willow.
Mẹ, con hero ẩn số ấy liền.
Cháu biết là nó đánh vị trí nào, con này đánh được quá nhiều vị trí. Mid nó cũng đi được, support cũng được, carry cũng được. Có Disruptor cho Liquid.
Disruptor bắt kiến này. Counter vai đái đấy.
And now it's like, okay, what's the counters to Weaver? And sure, currently Disruptor's not played at all, but it's an old school counter to Weaver.
Không, nhưng mà có một cái vấn đề là con Disruptor bản này nó quá yếu. Yếu vãi, giáp đéo có, máu cũng yếu. Đúng vậy, em cầm một con support khỏe hơn. Búa support khỏe hơn con này.
Cái vị trí đứng của nó.
Nhưng mà con Weaver nó lướt lên đấm thì bị chết đấy.
Nó giáp máu đéo.
Chết nhanh quá, không làm gì được.
I just feel like Disruptor Willow Brewmaster would be an open invitation for myself to pick Faceless Void.
Không, nó còn có cái kéo về nữa mà, nó còn kéo về counter Weaver vãi đái à. Invoker cho bên phía Team Spirit á. Holy shit.
Invoker này là Invoker support. Thằng La có chơi được nhỉ?
Thằng La có anh ơi, thằng La có đánh con Invoker đi mid đấy. Thằng La trận 1 chả đánh hay. Trận 1 La đánh hay, trận 2 La đánh cũng hay. Mỗi tội là cái hay ở chỉ cái tầm để thua thôi.
50-50 thôi, trận được, trận không. Nhưng mà số lượng trận không thì lại nhiều hơn. Phá là team gánh.
Thất thường.
Kém chất đội.
Phong độ là thất thường, không ổn định. Tiny cho phía Team Spirit ạ. Cười ơi, Miposa cười ơi. Game dễ rồi, game dễ rồi. Thế nhưng mà chuẩn bị sẽ có thêm một
Miposa từ giờ đến hết giải kéo được tầm con enchant nữa xem.
Holy fuck, Ziki ạ. Ziki cho Liquid.
Nhiều silent đâu ấy đấy.
Bố đấm vào mồm chứ. Hay phết. Ban CK và ban Sentau với phía Liquid ạ. Như là nhắm thẳng vào vị trí của offlane luôn.
Liquid có những thằng nào rồi?
Liquid có Brew này, Dark Willow này, Disruptor và Ziki.
Disruptor này, Ziki nữa, hai cái mẹ silent thả khói.
Bên phía team Spirit ban con Pakna và con Blood.
Yeah, I think Tiny could be 4 here in this situation with Invoker mid Weaver carry. There's also the scenario where we've seen Invoker support, we've seen Invoker mid, we've seen Weaver support, we've seen it core.
Ban Luna.
Technically, all three of these heroes have a case.
Grim kiến với cả gì?
Grim kiến Invo với Tiny.
I'd like to see maybe just Weaver carry Tiny support probably.
Now that we know that Ricky is mid though, wouldn't you put a different hero rather than Invoker mid? If Ricky is such a good matchup against that, is Tiny Ricky better for the side of Team Spirit?
That's also a potential argument, putting the Tiny mid, pushing the Weaver to a different role because you don't want to have your Weaver carry be jumped by the Ricky, and then yeah, there's a lot of answers that Spirit need to find here, but
ban vào vị trí của Magnus. Ban con Magnus cho tôi. Thịt mẹ mà nó góc người vào cho nó giết mất.
Stream cái đó kìa.
Cái gì à?
Trong web à?
Stream gì anh?
That is,
I
mean, on the side of Team Liquid, they are running out. They have 5 seconds left.
Mày đang cứ stream cái browser mà.
And the Tide Hunter, they're expecting Team Spirit still to need a hero for
stream lại
collapse.
Dota
They
đấy.
pick up the Spectre themselves.
This is so good. This is literally completely perfects what I was imagining of the draw from Liquid. You're playing with a vision-giving hero in the Ricky. You're playing with a global hero that can join like Spectre. Playing with two supports that are absolutely fantastic at taking advantage of that vision. You're going to be playing on the side lanes really hard, playing like catch and kill. Basically, and it's so easy for the heroes to come together.
Night Stalker.
Vào rồi mà.
Not you're a Night Stalker specialist.
Bây giờ mới vào. Đấy. Có cái ta mày lại về Wikipedia rồi.
Không.
Mày, tao vẫn đang xem cái stream Wikipedia của mày. Mày đang ở trong.
Đây hả? Anh vào chưa?
Now that I think of it, it gives free like
em để mỗi Dota thôi mà.
For Night Stalker. Night Stalker biggest problem is getting out of the laning phase. So in that
sao cái stream anh xem ở trên Discord hả?
Guys, we will have a
thế để mình em stream lại. Để em stream lại.
I'm most curious to hear what Blitz has to say about what he's up against.
Rồi. Đâu xem live hả?
Đây, live up đây anh. Xuất hiện đi. Đó.
Ôi, bên kia khỏe hơn nhỏ, cảm giác bên Liquid Big sợ vãi lìn.
Spec chuyên đi bắt mẹ luôn ạ. Trong chiến đấy nhờ. English International rồi được rồi. Vào đánh đi nào các bạn ơi. Game này hay này. 10.000 người đang xem. Phải đái nhỏ.
Này overkill nhỉ?
Hai trận trước đều overkill ra.
Единственный, кто может меня победить, это я сам.
Music. Music.
I won't lie, that was unexpected.
Team nào sẽ là team giết San trước? Chắc chắn là team Spirit thôi. Smoke canh kill trước phút thứ 10. chắc được 3, thôi 2 thôi. Chắc là collapse. Deny. Yep. Nào, mọi người trở lại trận đấu nào.
I feel like Blitz is keeping his cards kind of close. I don't think they were just, I guess we're picking this now. This looks fun. We're just trying our best.
There's definitely a plan, but
there's probably a little bit more depth to it than that. But
I
want to share that, which is completely, that's to be expected. And that leaves us to try to make sense of the whole thing. So I think the disruptor was picked into Weaver
Yatoro cầm kiến, La cầm Tiny.
So that's probably why they got inspired to pick it, but also the static storm combination. Right? You have a really good pairing with the Brewmaster because you can cyclone to catch someone, and then you can drop them down into the static storm connected field. So it's essentially a guaranteed setup for disruptor. I think that's part of what they're looking for. The mid Ricky seems to be a solution that multiple teams have tried to run against the Joker.
Em pick
just be relegated to position 4 here. And the Night Stalker, yeah, that one's the most curious one for me. Is it literally just, the safe lane is Spectre, so we can play a greedier, weaker lane hero?
Cái đội hình trộm chó này có vẻ hợp lý với team Liquid hơn.
Is there some more depth? Because I mean, yeah, the silence against the
Liquid có thể sẽ giết được nhiều người đấy. Em sẽ chọn Liquid chấp kill.
Chấp kill là hợp lý đấy.
The real simple answer for everybody out there for Ricky mid. It's either going to look really good or really bad. Pretty much no in between.
Em bet kèo 10 kill cho Liquid với kèo tổng.
So you can throw out some curveballs, right? You still have an extra life to work.
That is true. This is just not. This does not.
Kìa đó, đúng rồi. Đúng rồi.
That's why they picked Ricky, because he wasn't there at all.
Yes. He was cheering them on from mid, and that gave them a morale.
You're expecting Ricky to never be there.
Yatoro did get the rune, so it was a 3 rune trade-off for first blood. It's relatively even. It's mainly about how impactful the experience is going to be for the heroes that take that up. Like getting a faster level 2 in a lane could maybe lead to a secondary kill, and then all of a sudden.
Con kiến vừa lấy mạnh. Đúng, con kiến mạnh không thể yếu được. Bởi vì thực ra Tazo chưa đánh một con carry nào yếu cả.
Well, another hero we haven't really talked about is Tiny for Mr. Laurel. That would be the mid.
Chưa bao giờ, kể cả những trận thua thì cũng không thể nói yếu một tí nào, vẫn phụt mình như gánh.
Còn Ziki kìa.
Judging from the interviews, we're just looking at the like, what do you want to play
mất
today?
một con rồi. Mày đánh Ziki phải để mất creep.
Okay, I guess you can play Ricky, Nisha.
Yeah, picks, I suppose.
I think what Tiny does offer in this game is he's a really good assassination partner together with Grimstroke. So if you jump some of these more frail heroes, like Ricky has a relatively low HP pool and can't really use
Thế luôn là con kiến này, cái sạc của nó hay vãi anh ạ. Lướt qua là có thể đi.
And you have a little bit of an extra
hay thật.
Lướt qua là gì?
Cái sạc của nó lướt qua ấy. Tất cả các con nó lướt qua đều dính một cái dấu ở trên người. Cái skill 3 đấy, Gaminate Attack này, cái Attack Gaminate Attack ấy thì nó sẽ đánh toàn bộ những con được đánh dấu trên người. Lướt lên này, thì mẹ cái combo chết. Đều chết rồi. Là mới level 1 của skill 3 nên là đam hơi bé. Đây đi Disruptor với cả thì mẹ Invoker đang mẹ mày trao đổi chiêu thức.
Against Brewmaster in particular, it seems like the Weaver was a direct counter pick when they saw this come out. Collapse.
Kéo về, đéo cho ăn, đéo cho hit kinh nghiệm luôn.
And it only gets worse.
Ném nó đi mẹ chết mẹ. Lốc lên hay. Harat, hai bên thi nhau Harat.
Mẹ caster cường như cặc vậy.
Thì tất nhiên là như cặc rồi.
Làm gì đấy anh hiểu được vấn đề đi.
Ủa em tưởng anh đang xem.
Không xem. Anh chỉ nghe được thôi.
Thế thì không được rồi. Dota là phải xem, Dota lại nghe. Dota nghe là Dota gì? Ồ, câu snap.
Mẹ đang lái xe phải Linh.
Lái xe đó phải
xuống đến nơi thì đến thì xem.
Ủa, anh về quê à? Thế thì Dota gì nữa, thế thì TI gì nữa.
Đéo lại phải về, mình đéo chịu được.
Trận này còn phải 4-50 phút thì trận
này phải 4-50 phút.
Nhưng mà linh hồn với cá ngựa là cái đéo.
Spirit với cả mẹ Liquid thì chả linh hồn với cá ngựa.
Spirit
thì đi mà nó là linh hồn với chất lỏng như cá ngựa cái đéo.
Thì con cái huy hiệu logo là con cá ngựa ở đây.
Thế thì đi mẹ phải là rồng trắng với cá ngựa chứ.
Sao lại rồng trắng? Không. Rồng đéo thì bọn Spirit này nó thua thì làm sao mà gọi là rồng. Nó chỉ là linh hồn thôi.
Đi tại một bên là logo còn một bên là dính tên liên quan đi.
Đúng.
Cá ngựa cho nó dân ruột ra. Liquid chúng nó cũng gọi là cá ngựa mà.
Bạn nói tôi cũng thấy khó chịu.
Mày đi Spirit thì mày phải gọi nó là rồng chứ. Rồng trắng chứ. Đã cá ngựa thì rồng trắng, còn đã Spirit thì phải chất lỏng.
Không.
Đúng.
Không. Hôm nay là em kỳ thị bọn Spirit. Không có rồng
đi
trắng
vẫn bảo
lý do ấy.
Đâu? Nhưng mà bạn đọc cái chữ đấy ở đâu ấy?
Trên YouTube ấy.
Địt dạ, thằng Cường nó đâu? Tại tổ gì? Thế thì
And the most important thing for both teams really is that their mid lane start getting involved.
Bảo chắc đéo thằng nào nghĩ được cái kiểu đấy luôn. Đang bảo mẹ thằng đéo là thằng trên group ấy. Thế nhỉ? Nghĩ ra, nghĩ đi nghĩ lại thì chắc cũng đéo có thằng nào thế. Anh chữ mũi Cường. Không tin được.
Ôi đi về combat ở dưới bot này, đi về Weaver đánh vào đi mẹ Weaver này. Ô kìa, ném. Chết mẹ Weaver, bốn chó này trả value cho bố.
Tỷ số đang như thế nào rồi?
Tỷ số đang là 2 đều anh ạ.
Thằng Cường dám bet cho Liquid trận này à?
Em còn bet trước khi bắn pick cơ. Nó phải có sự tự tin nhầm.
Thể hiện là cái độ ngu như tự tin đéo.
Không, em thấy
em pick trước khi bắn cơ đi.
Em bắn chấp trước cả điên cơm cơ đi mà.
Em hiểu cái câu ý của nó là gì?
Ồ, hay đấy.
Ý là mày hay à?
Chết mẹ rồi Licky chết mẹ rồi.
Chết luôn đi.
Chết mẹ mít rồi, quả thì tham ăn cái DD.
Nhưng mà anh La đánh hay quá.
La đánh hay đâu, con ở Grimstroke đánh hay này, Grimstroke
trận nãy ấy, thật sự luôn là cảm giác thua chỉ bởi vì là để nhả ra con Valathum tự tin quá. Cái đang beta thằng nào bích thằng đấy thắng tự nhiên nhả. Ngựa.
Chết mẹ mày này, đi con mẹ mày vừa giết bố mày đúng không? Ziki giết ngay đi mẹ Grimstroke ạ. Dí đến cùng luôn ạ.
Còn một mình con Vara kéo mẹ lửa game luôn sợ.
Tỷ số là 3 đều rồi ạ. Phải đá nhau, căng đét kèo người kill luôn.
Đừng bet kèo 10 kill luôn à?
Em bet kèo 10 kill cho Liquid và Liquid thắng game 3.
Spirit nó chỉ bán một game thôi, nó đéo bán 2 game đâu. Rồi bet cho.
Chết mẹ
gì kia rồi.
Vấn đề của việc backup của con Disruptor đấy là nó mất thời gian để bay ngược lại, còn cái combo nhanh quá.
Đéo có cái Satan nào cả.
Nhưng mà tí nữa nó sẽ counter con chiến, vấn đề là tí nữa chơi như thế nào. Các bọn này lát đứt con rơi ấy để mà đéo được cho mày có gì làm cho đấy cả.
Yeah, if it does fall behind, it can very easily become
Con kiến tí nó lên cái Hurricane Fire là xong mà, để làm gì nó.
Nó đang sợ là con Disruptor sẽ là con làm cho con xịt con đốn đấy.
Fuck ra cái là hết.
Chết đi mẹ, vừa giết bố mày không? Nisa đi mẹ, giết người luôn. Ui đi mà mày thằng rơi đi mẹ, mày đi giết Spec rồi. Batman rồi.
Yeah, Liquid had both of their supports mid there trying to get the additional kill onto Laurel, but that was just not going to happen. Ricky, when you've expended both your blink strikes,
quả cả mắt sông này. Vision được bao nhiêu vậy? Em phải check cái
easily identify that this hero positioning from Liquid is punishable when they jump the next
rồi. Thôi, đi mẹ gì kia bị bắt rồi. Đây rồi, hay quá. Đi mẹ con bắt ngược luôn. Đi mẹ cái gì cơ? Mày tên gì? Giết nó đi, giết nó. Đúng vậy. Ô, sao lại méo con Spec?
Chết rồi, làm gì đấy thôi.
Chết đi, mẹ chấm chết rồi. Không phải ôi rồi ôi. Ở đây rồi. Thật chết ạ. Mẹ trừ 6 đều rồi ạ. Thì mẹ căng thế nhở, kèo 10 kill. Tự nhiên nó căng thế nhở. Ngứa đít thế nhở, chết rồi.
Con invoke từ support đấy.
Ôi hay. Ôi hay. Đi mẹ con phát kéo về. Cầu lab đéo đủ thời gian để có thể mẹ TP về ạ.
Một pha mất TP đến từ cầu lab.
Pha smoke anh có Tiny và Grim xuống dưới bot để canh Brew đây. Chưa có Berlin. Tự tin đến từ vì ấy. Nhưng mà không sao, có bút tốc chạy, mà. Brew không có ulti. Thôi xong rồi, đi con mẹ mày, ông Spec lại còn phi lên nữa. Thôi đi mẹ, đừng Mike ơi. Anh em mình cùng quê nhưng mà đừng đánh ngu như thế. Rồi Ziki nào.
Đánh ngu như nhau à.
Ôi hay quá. Đúng rồi. Chạy mẹ mày đi. Cái gì cô? Cao tờ luôn. Không chết ạ. Chết rồi chưa? Ôi đéo được rồi. Còn mẹ mày ulti xong thì địt mẹ để nó về ạ. Ôi trời ơi. Địt mẹ con Weaver vẫn TP về được à. Thế mà nó đủ địt mẹ thời gian nó TP về. Trời ơi.
Mày tại sao người ta gọi Satozo là God chưa?
Đi mẹ, ui đi con mẹ mày 9 đều mẹ nó rồi. 9 đều rồi. Ôi đi cô mẹ kèo với Q, cô anh đánh cẩn thận hộ em cái. Đi con.
Ba cái thằng Mike.
Thôi Mike chui rừng đi, đừng đi ra nữa.
Đúng mẹ cùng quay với Cường, đồng được trưởng, đánh y như Cường vậy. Nhảy thẳng lên, bắt con support.
Hết mùa giải này kiểu gì chả thấy Nisa với cả Zai chuyển team khác. Nisa đánh tín quá.
Nó smoke rồi. Nó smoke lên bắt top này.
Xem nào.
Ngửi thấy mùi về luôn đi.
Tôi phải vào thẳng luôn mà. Chúng ta check đồ của phía Night Stalker lên Echo Saber. Ô đi con mẹ mà câu lab nó né ganh vãi lịt đấy.
Không có lab phải ngửi cái mùi ganh mẹ rồi.
Đây rồi. Chúng ta đi giết con khác vậy.
Không sao.
Trâu quá. Mai đâu chết. Chết 10 kill cho Liquid rồi.
Thấy chưa? 10 kill Liquid rồi, có tiền rồi. Đếm tiền nào. Tuyệt vời.
Ui dồi, khuôn mã Liquid ở bên dưới, còn ông Collab thì đang bay ở trên coi. Bên dưới thì phải mã.
Đây rồi, chạy thế luôn là được khi chúng ta có Spec ở đây.
Ra Tozo đến.
Này thì ra Tozo. Mẹ thế mà vẫn về được á.
Lại là Satazo. Đi vào,
vẫn về.
TV về. mà lại là con
Taking some good fights. I do favor that result for them.
Chết luôn, hết mana, đi tới rồi. Tôi tặng để cho mana.
Có ai bet kiểu tổng kill không vậy?
Cần quá nhở? Over chắc.
Chắc trận này rồi.
13 phút đã mỗi bên 12 mạng rồi.
Mỗi bên 12 mạng. Điên rồ.
Kêu tổng kill over là dễ đây này.
Set over luôn đi bạn. Dừng xe vào lề đường và over đã.
Anh Z đang ấy rồi, anh Z đang
đến nơi rồi.
Đến nơi rồi sao ấy?
Đang bận tí.
Hay quá.
Phải Linh anh ra Tozo này lại lên đề số trước ạ, đéo phải lên cái.
Đúng vậy, đề số trước là đúng rồi. Đề số đang khỏe hơn mà.
Đi co mẹ nó vãi lên, nó chạy, nó né ganh thế này luôn mà. Nó ngửi đến con Ricky luôn. Ricky nhìn thấy đéo biết làm gì.
Đi mẹ thằng chạy script rồi.
Lên farm hộ Spec luôn, cho cẩn thận đi mà.
Hay quá, mẹ Spec cũng né được ganh luôn. Không, nhưng mà đi mẹ một pha gọi là ôi ôi rồi ôi.
Trời ơi, Ricky chạy về
bỏ lại.
Đây có cả đội đây, Ricky về rồi.
Đây không phải chết ngược, đây là hy sinh để mẹ với Ricky có thể đi về.
Over về over tận 54 với cả nhân 1,3 bạn ạ. Tức là 0,3 ấy. Bỏ 10 ăn 3 ấy.
Thế thì không ăn thua. Tại vì cơ bản là phải bet từ đầu mới bet cao chứ bây giờ bet thấp quá rồi.
Vẫn là over tận 54. Cao quá.
54 em nghĩ là vẫn được đấy.
Một nửa rồi.
Một nửa rồi anh ạ. Chưa chuẩn bị. Lại đánh nhau tiếp này. Đúng rồi. Mẹ sao tăng đến chết luôn mà. Cái gì cô? Bơn mana cho ai? Gì con này giết luôn. Ok đúng rồi. Chết tiếp này, chết tiếp ngay đi mẹ mày Crystal chốc này. Chết mẹ mày này, nối cái đéo gì mà nối. Trời ơi. Ăn miếng trả miếng đi mẹ xem đã mẹ luôn ạ. Đéo cái gì. Đang xem El Clasico cả. Hay quá.
Bây giờ làm đéo thì còn El Clasico nữa.
Đại chiến thành ngu. Ui rồi cái gì cô? Bay đi nào người rơi bay đi. Bay thế đéo là được. Đi mẹ 2 quả Doom liền mà. Không phải 1 đâu. Chết mẹ mày này, chết mẹ. Đúng rồi.
Kiến này. Kiến đang có tỏ đằng sau này.
Kiến đâu? Kiến bị silent rồi. Về hết rồi, chúng nó đánh nhau rồi, về hết rồi bạn anh em ơi. Đúng rồi, TP đi bạn ơi. Đúng rồi, bảo toàn lực lượng nhưng vẫn chết mẹ con loa coi lâu rồi. Nhưng không sao, con support đổi lại đi tận 3 mạng cơ mà. Quá đáng rồi. Xem Tiny có gì. Tiny bây giờ mới có một cái Linh thôi. Check đồ nào. Ôi đi mẹ collab mới có được cái echo. Đến bao giờ mới có thêm được cái Linh nữa. Nào, check đồ Brill là Brill có tay tiền ạ. Lên thẳng ngay một cái tai. Holy shit. Ricky vẫn trung thành cái lối build cũ à. Lên một cái defu ạ. Đây rồi. Cái gì cô? Lại tiếp tục đánh nhau tiếp. Chết rồi.
Ôi. Liên tục
Over chắc.
Nisha is running the map right now. Spirit have to be very, very cautious about how they move their heroes and bring detection and try to find a kill on this Ricky. Otherwise, they'll just keep Reign of Terror going. And tower's gone. Zai will claim that. So that is, what does he have coming out right now?
I believe it's a pipe.
Full pipe? Oh. goodness, he is stacked already. This is going to be super difficult for Spirit to fight into. Their lineup's almost exclusively magic damage right now. So as long as Zai doesn't get EMP'd,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
can have a huge impact with that item here.
Mira in the cover of darkness here.
Ziki mình cũng có mỗi cái default trong đồ con kiến kìa. Ricky có thêm được cái Yasa, còn kiến thì đã có đầy xô rồi. Đánh một lúc thằng kiến tự nhiên lại một mình một vạch cho em.
Thì thằng kiến nãy giờ nó có đánh không? Vấn đề là bên kia không nghĩ là sẽ bị chết nhiều như thế. Ui dồi, này sao sống. Cái này sao sống. Nó phát nào nó cũng dùng tất cả đòn để nó chết luôn đấy.
Và kiến xuống đánh nhau này. Xem bắt được ai không?
Rồi, đi vào rồi, cô lắp trở hết này. Trời ơi. Trời ơi. Kéo lên chết được ai. Không có đủ đam. Silent chậm, Silent thứ hai, nhất định là phải giết mid rồi, giết đi sao rồi, hết đam rồi, đuôi.
Thịt đã tiền bắn hết rồi. Ít nổ được.
I'll say Mira's tornadoes this game have been borderline.
Nó nhìn thấy con Disruptor rồi, nó vào bắt được Disruptor nữa này.
Hitting 2 or 3 heroes and a lot of them he's pouring it in a path where it could end up clipping
hay đi mà
nobody,
chạy vào tận chỗ 3 để bắt á.
on like
Thôi, tha cho nó bạn. Không tha, cút. Vẫy tay.
Mẹ ra tao rô làm tốt.
Was another buyback from Spirit though, so they
ăn luôn stack. Nó mua sạc rồi nó farm kìa, đi xịn vãi lên. Được, bảo sao tự nhiên để hết tiền, hóa ra là mua sạc để farm. Còn cái nịt. Nhưng mua sạc sớm là hay đấy, con kiến này mua sạc sớm farm stack, farm Anson nhanh.
Just from beyond, you know, he's not
Lên
even targetable. That Willow extra burst is very, very helpful there.
Listen in here. What they have to say.
Dài này hay quá. Dài đi xa đúng gánh tim giờ hai thằng đỏ lòm chính là hai thằng đấy. Còn lại nhìn mọi kia cảm giác.
Thank you, Mickey, for that.
Very nice. Zai trying to take out the Tormentor.
They'll get there in the end, surely.
Chết mẹ thằng Zai, đéo ăn được to. Đéo ăn được.
Quá mất thời gian, thằng này không ăn được một mình.
Đây rồi.
There we go. Eventually they find its spirit as well. Laurel gets the shard, interesting. Sania gets it for the side of Liquid. So they already have 4 shards on Spirit.
Yep. I mean, they have some very good ones to buy, right? Strobe, Weaver, Night Stalker, all want to buy it. So, not really surprising that this can go to Laurel. It's going to be nice for farming, right? Now he has the tree grab, but... Yeah, I guess they would... Maybe they would have rather had the Invoker one if they got to choose themselves. The EMP pull plus bigger damage is pretty damn nice in a game like this with how
này giống 6 đô quá.
High chaotic non-stop fighting is going on. But if things slow down a little bit, the tiny one will also. Laurel is starting to work on a BKB. It seems inevitable that all cores on the Radiant side have to buy this item. There's just too many problems. Ricky is an issue, Static Storm, Willow, Brewmaster, all of it is insane control. Collapse gonna get spotted.
Inside the smoke.
That is
just trying
not
to
happening.
Very ambitious.
Luôn.
Die 70 seconds. Virtue Tower looks
Chưa dùng ulti nhá.
Fortifications there though.
That's a dieback too. So, you know, wonder if Liquid are gonna give out a potential Roche.
Hay giờ con kiến này lướt có phát hết vào đàn grip.
Side of the map. Your lineup is not the greatest at it. Obviously, if Spectre had a Manta, it would be a lot easier.
Mà thằng Cường lại bị khóa mõm rồi đúng không? Nãy giờ không nói gì.
Đâu em đi lấy nước này nè.
I mean, Ricky does a decent amount, I guess, if you can keep the aggro off.
Yep. It works.
Lấy ngay cái bình nước để
Now,
uống.
okay, this was something I was thinking about the other day. Now, Misha's going Axe on Ricky. What happens if you put Bedlam on him and he jumps into a hero? Does the Bedlam then follow that hero?
Ziki và Bedlam. Hay. Ziki và Disruptor cộng Kinetic Field. Hợp lý. Đéo có tìm cái Doom cả.
Well, if we do a turbo mode, it's probably going to be
kéo
like
về.
more eventually, right? Close on the glimpse there, and Senia just barely.
Trận này nhau quá nhiều luôn đấy. Đều có cái chế độ của thanh niên này nào có ngay được một cái Eco Saber.
Team Liquid đang muốn bỏ trốn đi farm. Có một vài món đồ quá cần thiết, ví dụ như là BKB.
Weaver BKB rồi này.
Đi ly BKB và BKB nữa và
em lại thấy đánh nhau.
Weaver từ này, chỉ Weaver thôi thì là không có silent, phải là cả một đôi.
Weaver hết mana lùi rồi.
Đây rồi.
Muốn đánh này đâu. Kia đang khỏe hơn bằng chỉ bằng đòn thôi đã khỏe hơn.
Luôn à. Thì khỏe quá.
Weaver của đấy đéo chịu bật BKB sớm, bị Ricky nó burn hết mana.
Em nghĩ là quả đấy nó nghĩ là nó có thể giết được con Ziki luôn.
Đang ở trong khói, không bật BKB giết đéo được. Mất thời gian tại em ngoài quá.
May em nó vẫn giết được. Ziki nó không khỏe thêm nữa. Kéo được nó một thời gian.
Rồi Ricky lấy 2 support.
Holy fuck, Bril lên dai lên vào la anh ạ.
Em bấm vào collab bình thường, collab khả năng là skip một đồ lên thẳng BKB. À đéo skip, bây giờ với BKB. Thôi thế thôi anh ơi, anh mà lên thêm cái BKB thẳng thôi.
BKB luôn được mà. Tách Eco lên BKB luôn. Hợp lý rồi.
Thế thì nó phải lên luôn, thế thì nó lên luôn. Bây giờ mà nó không lên đúng rồi, nó lên một món kìa, kiểu gì nó tách nó lên luôn. Nó chậm quá rồi, không có mát nổi, săn ghê quá.
Quá nhiều thì thứ để silent các thứ giữ lại kéo đây kéo vào mẹ con bát
ăn
khổ
Rosan luôn đó, thịt mạ lì đấy.
ăn được đấy em nghĩ ăn được đấy. Nó trừ giáp bởi vì nó có trừ giáp mà nhiều trừ giáp quá.
Còn kia có vẻ là không biết.
Đây, bây giờ check con Rosan này nó trừ tận 15, 16, 17 giáp, 18 giáp mẹ ơi.
Hay quá, con Rosan này hay này, con Rosan này kéo được rất nhiều tham này. Có khi cho thằng đéo có BKB rồi từ ra Taro thì
Yatoro cầm rồi, Yatoro BKB lên MKB luôn mà. Radiant thật đáng sợ.
đéo gì khói khủng, không là con này nó thả
Radiant đấy. Tất cả là Radiant đấy. Khói khủng cái gì? Khói thì bật BKB lên mà đánh nhau.
With that Roche, things are probably going to slow down a little bit for Liquid's abilities to play aggressively because Weaver twice in a row. So we'll probably finish the
Đây rồi, bọn Liquid này đánh hay quá.
Con Bril này mà cũng có tận 30% evasion nữa, căng ấy.
Cái skill của nó thì phải.
Skill con Bril 30% evasion.
Ôi bạn ơi, tí nữa nó còn lên cái chuyển kia kìa, nó chuyển qua chế độ chuyển qua chế độ phòng thủ.
Là sao hả anh? Lên cái gì ạ?
Đấy, lên cái gậy xanh không bấm các nó không cần lên à? Nó để
không, nó tự bấm được mà.
Tự bấm được luôn. Trâu vãi Linh trâu.
Nhưng mà thấy người ta hay để cái màu xanh với cả màu đỏ nhiều hơn. Màu đỏ crit.
Bị đánh thì nó sẽ để cái nào?
Về luôn ạ. Time lapse về luôn.
Quá khó chịu ấy, đến tận nhà nó giết quy đánh từng nó cái rồi time lapse về.
Địt mẹ mấy cái chat wheel của nó cũng hay.
Đây rồi, 3 BKB rồi, đánh không ấy, bấm vào rơi bắt em. Rơi.
BKB rồi.
BKB rồi, đánh thôi. Cho nó lấy cái đấy, nó đéo ulti, bậc thứ nhất nó đéo ulti. Ulti đi thôi. Ulti đi thôi.
Địt mẹ khổ chưa, địt mẹ collab cứ lên là địt mẹ nó đẩy về.
Thằng Tiến phát lại muốn biết cái Sandstorm. Nhưng mà nó không Sandstorm nên là
Đây rồi, địt mẹ collab bị nhìn thấy rồi, collab bị nhìn thấy rồi.
Đéo nhìn thấy tí nào hết.
Đấy, collab nhìn thấy rồi. Collab BKB silent thì làm sao mà hết silent đây.
Hay quá, Spec. Spec.
Hay quá. Hay quá.
Đi vào kiểu bắn đầu ấy.
Hay quá, tay đi chết. Hai bên đều chết một.
Hay quá.
Rồi, silent đuổi theo thằng kia. Mẹ nó cái silent nó đuổi theo từng thằng một. Một thằng nữa.
2 đổi 3.
2 đổi 3. Chưa mất exit. Vắng sau vẫn chơi tiếp được. Bây giờ mình 60 giây rồi.
Basically equalized the game in terms of net worth and starting to see this Weaver really pop off in the fights and
căng thế nhờ.
For them, Laurel is
trận này chắc chắn là overkill rồi này. Vậy lìn thật.
Isha was running this game and a couple of fights in a row now they've been able to isolate and kill off this Ricky who's kind of struggling to find a footing. As soon as he gets crippling fear or get caught by the Tiny, you don't have any BKB, you can't really guaranteed reset and get out of there. But he's very much dependent on other heroes causing chaos and the number one chaos creator in his team.
Ui rồi, con kiến có cái vỏ ốc kìa.
Not getting that primal split off was huge.
Vỏ ốc cũng hình như cũng dùng được skill 3 đấy.
Đấy, nó vừa dùng được đấy.
Địt mẹ chết rồi.
Vẫn còn exit, làm thêm con bắn nữa.
Còn bắn nữa, 15 giây nữa. Chính ra bây giờ cái BKB của con Light Stalker mới là cái BKB quan trọng, bởi vì cái đấy thì mới shut down được bất kỳ con nào. Là xử ra mà giết con Ziki thì
nó còn có một cái gem trên người của nó S đây này.
Thì đó, con này chính là con để mà dí vào con nào mà chết con đấy mà.
Ủa nhờ.
Nó sẽ lên xong cái này xong có khi lên cho Ziki cut off ấy. Tham là đến từ con kiến rồi, chứ Tham không phải đến từ con nó nhưng mà nó phải dí, không bị kiến không giết được. Còn cái số một cái tránh lấy trụ thôi. Đấy lại lợi thế thôi.
Spec lên bát.
Đúng rồi, Spec lên bát là đúng rồi.
Spec lên bát 2, Spec lên theo kiểu xưa. Spec này tôi đánh được. Tôi đánh cũ.
He's going BKB, so he's going BKB Pipe Octarine, which is a very defensive build, right? You don't get that offensive aura, for example, and Tall Harass. Maybe this is just necessary for him. And this doesn't give you the safety either, because Weaver is one of the carries that doesn't mind buying nullify whatsoever, so you could just stick
giết
on
được
your
Spec
carry.
thì lại phải là Tiny nhỉ? Còn kiến cũng được, đánh đau. Nhưng mà Tiny giết Spec thì cảm giác
BKB is the right choice, but it doesn't feel great for Zai to have to itemize like this. I'm sure he would way rather get.
Nó thói. TB thế thì không TB.
Tôi ăn lộn rồi.
Ủa,
vãi cả lồn à.
Ní ke.
Spec tham thêm một con Quip ạ. TB luôn đi.
Tham thế địt mẹ.
Cả team TB rồi, tất cả mọi người đều đọc rồi, chắc chắn là có côn rồi.
Đúng là bỏ đốc Hải Phòng.
Thôi nó tìm rồi. Có một người nữa chết rồi. Chạy kiểu gì đây bạn ơi. Bạn ơi, không có sao được cô bạn ơi.
Đều đánh nhau trong 40 giây rồi.
Mất thêm cái trụ nữa.
Thêm cái trụ. Nó lại đè thêm, network lại căng thêm.
Bỏ Spirit trùng đánh lết đánh khỏe quá.
Bây giờ phải chờ con Tiny giết con Spec thì mới nhanh. Tiny nó phá Creep gậy xanh thì con Spec mới chết nhanh được nhìn từ nãy rồi.
Nó không lên gậy xanh. Nó đéo lên gậy xanh. Nó mua Silver S.
Silver S.
Silver S cũng được.
Bao này kiệt lì đấy. Thử đam mà.
Two or three neutrals do we have coming the other side? So we have the Elven Tunic on Spectre, which is
Spirit đánh lên game 2 á.
has the true spec of MKB. Quiver on Willow, another Elven Tunic Ricky. Man, this
Nó biết tình thế của nó như nào.
MKB is very good right now.
Đéo thiệt luôn mà, nó cứ né ganh nó farm thôi, xong nó cao tơ ganh. Nó có đợi lật lại rồi.
Cả hai thằng kia.
Collapse refuses to give up.
Collapse chịu.
Cannot stand this building. You must vanquish it. Polka with one more Inkswell will run away in shame, knowing that he cannot stand up to the great cube.
Đi về gần chết mà. Sao cái đấy khỏe đấy nhở?
Sau khỏe hơn cái trước mà.
Maybe the most annoying shard in the entire game. I do say so myself. Very good.
Yeah, also increases the damage, which
mấy cái to sau nó tăng giáp với cả tăng máu, tăng khiên với tăng giáp lên.
Bọn kia thì sao? Lúc nào là lúc bọn kia chơi, lúc mà có Sandstorm là lúc bọn nó chơi được. Bây giờ Sandstorm phải được nâng cấp thêm một lần nữa để có thế là phải có gậy xanh. Em làm 8 cái gôn có gậy xanh như thường.
Còn lâu, mới có một món thôi.
Bây giờ bắt đầu
3 món nữa.
mẹ nó lướt qua một cái là bắn một hit là chết mẹ hết đàn crit.
Con kiến bắn phát bấm về luôn. Bấm multi luôn.
Feels like the game is a little bit. It's not exactly on a knife's edge right now. Like the Spectre team, obviously, even being behind can kind of make time. The writing on the wall is that the next winner of the fight will probably get lost too. So got to be very, very cautious of how you pick your fights. And vision is really the deciding factor in this game. One team playing with the Ricky to find heroes and set up his team for success. The other team with a Night Stalker with a gem. And Invoker, of course, and Ghostwalk. Formation, you've got to react real fast when he's out of invisibility.
Duy nhất làm con kiến sợ chính là ulti của con Disruptor và có đồ. Đây gặp nhau.
Yeah, he pops his BKB, but he's only at half health. Gets off the avalanche.
Đéo có bác.
Okay, the BKB was still there.
Mày nhá, thì mẹ phải lấy BKB nó vẫn còn.
Nice TP from Lalo as well. He TP'd the moment the basher stopped proccing, because then he has a very high chance of getting a second bash on him, so he did get out of that one.
Từ bé sao được?
They don't have to break with them right now. As Mira taking the brunt of damage from Nisha on this. Ricky pop his BKB, wants to finish off the but he's also successful. That's an instant buy.
Hay nhỏ nó điều một con điều bóng.
Collab đánh hay quá.
Collab vãi đái luôn ạ.
Lisa rồi, hai thằng bay back luôn.
Rồi kiến bây giờ.
Ba thằng bay back luôn, quét rồi. Quét rồi. Em chết. Không chết.
Bây giờ sẽ tiếp đai bách.
Đai bách mẹ rồi.
Đai bách đâu, đâu quay đai bách đâu.
Đai bách Ziki rồi.
Đai bách Ziki.
And just like that, I mean, effectively it's a 4v3 right
nhiệm
now,
vụ
but
của
there was some
con
buyback
Tiny
coming out.
chỉ là chạy vào break một cái, xong là để cho chờ con kiến nó đánh.
Mẹ hai cái buyback liền.
Con kiến của Zatoru nó đánh vãi.
Nhìn cái đam mà con kiến gây ra này. 7.200. Đi mẹ sao theo.
Nó di chuyển hay ấy. Thực ra là phản đam đấy, hơn lấy đam rồi em ạ.
Tiding them around these fights, outlasting the primal split, outlasting the Ricky damage.
Bây giờ là phải có cái gì? Bây giờ Disruptor phải có gậy xanh.
Gold này, XP này, XP Ziki khá khá. Dài lên đầu châu phết nhờ anh nhỏ. Mẹ, lên thêm cái này nữa thì
Hết đoạn khỏe của Dài rồi, qua 40 phút, qua 37 phút là Dài hóa ra 3 con gấu đánh chết cụt gấu ngay. Nãy hóa phải chạy thoát loạn chứ. Bây giờ UVKB luôn, Dài tỉnh táo vãi đai. Này,
đi mẹ nó đi phá trụ.
Chết luôn. Kéo trên. Kéo trên.
Nó bật được Sonic lên nó bắn kìa thì.
Ôi, nó Sonic. Ôi, nó còn có cả ấy nữa.
Đéo hóa được thằng Dài, đéo hóa được, cười hơn.
Đéo chết. Zataru.
Về thôi.
Ôi, ra gì ghen.
Sao bị kéo này? Kéo anh kéo được.
Quá. Dài đánh cũng hay.
Vài đái nhờ. Má mình cần giết được con kiến rồi đấy.
Chưa giết được con kiến với Git.
Mà
chưa bật PKB. PKB còn để dưới. Giết cái gì nó đánh quá hay. Đi đáng ra mặt đấy để giết được rồi.
đáng nghe là phải giết được nó chứ. Giết được nó để nó mất cái Aegis đi.
Nó vào cho giết đây mà có giết được đéo đâu. Lao vào như thế.
Bây giờ thôi đúng rồi, lên mẹ crit rồi thì ăn thế đéo được trận này nữa. Mẹ mấy thằng Liquid này ăn được mỗi kèo người kill ạ, cay thích nhờ. Ôi rồi ôi. Chạy rồi.
Đánh con Svet khó lắm á. Nhất định phải có tay đi. Không ý vừa đánh nhìn thấy 4 thằng đánh phản nam chết mẹ 2 thằng. Có lát thời. Có lát thời.
Mất BKB.
Ơ đi có mẹ Spec. Nó địt mẹ mày mờ đót rồi.
Mờ đót lại còn lại một lần nữa.
Break
rồi, break.
TP đéo TP đi đi con mẹ mày cứ phải đi lên thêm một đoạn mới TP à. Muốn chó này.
Team đi về lúc nào cũng là carry ở lại cuối cùng mệt thôi.
All of the top side of the map was completely free and available for him.
Nè, thằng kia nó chạy dọc map, thấy ai? Ui, nó nhìn thấy, nó cam thấy rồi sao ấy? Ziki, đuổi theo Ziki này.
Đâu đâu nó scan vào con bóng của Ziki anh ơi. Crit rồi, địt mẹ mày khó rồi. Ồ, em đang thấy Disruptor 3 mảnh của gậy xanh rồi.
Vẫn chưa có thì đéo tính tiền. Chưa có thì vẫn là không tính tiền.
Anh giết tham bao nhiêu em?
Ấy đi tham còn có 1 phút thôi anh ơi.
Lên thôi.
1 phút lên 2 round là kịp rồi.
Lên thôi, lên.
30 giây lên 2 round con này là kịp. Vẫn vừa.
Cho giết. Tự nhiên lại đi ấy luôn, tự nhiên lại đi Glim. Tự cái chó gì đó.
Đây là mất
nào vai này.
40 giây bắn tiếp. Bắn kìa, kịp mà và ta lần
thêm. 40 giây quá nhiều.
Địt mẹ có ta lần bắn 3 lần đi bắn 3 hit cùng lúc.
Đủ rồi.
Khỏe quá.
Sao thì mẹ game này em đi để còn xem Azuray cả LGD.
Đúng.
Nó cắn hết tham Tosan nó chơi luôn kìa. Nó cắn hết tham Tosan nó chơi luôn kìa.
Hay.
Mà bắt được thằng đấy thì có nghĩa là không bắt được ai nữa.
Bắt được thằng đấy là hết rồi.
Đáng ra bắt đấy từ từ. Bắt thằng đấy nó không bỏ cái smoke đấy.
Bị bắt còn sắp 5 rồi.
Nhưng mà nhìn thấy rồi bị break smoke rồi.
Nhưng mà con bắt sau ở Josan là sẽ có cái đấy, là sẽ có gậy xanh ấy. Và thằng kia thì không có Aegis. Nếu mà để dính trong Sandstorm là chết luôn. Mà chết thì đéo được là chết. Đéo bật được Satanic.
Làm sao bật Satanic được. Bây có gậy xanh rồi này. Nó lại còn có cả đi mẹ mày hải cầu đè nữa mà.
Đè. Không thì anh Mickey cứ đi farm trộm phát nữa như thế thì đúng là anh mình cứu được.
Đây rồi, địt mẹ cái con đầu vuôi.
Rồi, Zataro con này dễ chết này.
Không, con Mickey này mới chết này. Đi về. À thôi, về rồi, Invoker về rồi. Tại sao lại lên cái kia nhở?
Cái gì?
Con spec em thấy nó lên kiểu hack khủng các thứ bay lên rồi hack xong rồi Manta giết cũng là chết ngay con support mà.
Đấy là con gậy xanh ngày xưa. Còn con này bây giờ là không lên gậy xanh nữa, là phải lên đồ đánh nhau tới bến tanh vãi đái như hồi Dota 1 đấy.
Lên hack chỉ có tao đánh mới lên hack thôi, bây giờ bọn nó đánh có lên nữa đâu. Cơ bản nó đéo bay được ấy, nó đéo bay về được ấy. 3 giây bay về.
Đúng rồi, bây giờ không bay về 3 giây mà. Đúng rồi.
I would think this urn would have been replaced already, so I wonder where all that gold went. I mean, that's just them being cornered in the base, right? He's probably getting lower quality CS as well in terms of just overall net worth, not killing the ancients, not getting bigger creeps.
Khó nhờ.
Đi đâu? Đi hết đứng chờ mà. Kia đứng chờ bên kia.
Bọn này chờ. Hai bên đều chờ. Hai bên đều đứng chờ.
Con rốt này quyết định tất cả rồi.
Over hết rồi, over time over kill rồi. 5-8 mẹo này.
Bây giờ đi phá trụ rồi. Em nghĩ bọn Team Spirit bây giờ đi phá trụ này.
Bắt bọn kia để về mà đi chết Rosan.
Giờ nó không có time. 30 giây Rosan xuống bot
30 giây. Tham bọn kia về luôn. Bọn kia chắc phải chờ một xíu xong mới về. 30 giây là vừa.
Xong rồi còn 30 giây trời để ăn Rosan. Có đúng 30 giây là kịp. Trời tối vào luôn, đứng chờ luôn, không nó tối nữa đứng tốt mất. Đừng im trời, thằng La đừng im đấy, chả có việc gì đâu, đừng im đấy. Lại chạy ra đi. Biết là chạy lên làm đéo thì 30 giây nó ra rồi.
2 giây, 1 giây. Thôi, quay lại. Ôi.
Đây rồi.
Đây rồi, nó bắt sau rồi, Team Spirit bắt sau, Team Spirit bắt sau luôn này, đúng rồi, thì con này mày vãi lồ luôn.
Không cần bay bách á.
Hay quá.
4 đánh 5 cho cẩn thận.
Rồi, bay. Mất Sandstorm rồi, Kiến không thể chết, Kiến bất tử.
4 đánh 5 mà nó vẫn thắng bắt luôn.
Thôi thì chết spec rồi. Mất cả Mike luôn mà.
Thì có vẻ 4 đánh 5 mà nó thắng luôn, thằng Mira bài bách nó đéo để làm gì cả.
Cần đấy.
Chuyện này vãi đái luôn đi.
Cứu cân đấy.
Cứu cân anh ơi.
San rồi, nó sẽ cứu Dosan rồi.
Thế thì kéo, tôi lại ăn kèo này rồi. Mẹ thấy cương của Udi Quýt ghê quá, thế tôi lại dí thêm một tí vào Team Spirit.
Kìa, đéo ai lại thế.
Hết cân rồi, bây giờ Spirit mạnh quá rồi. Địch đã trông nó bắn backdoor kìa.
Hết rồi.
Bạn biết điều không? Tôi vừa nãy Team Spirit là đầu game Team Spirit là 1.5, ăn 1.5 ấy. Cái lúc là Liquid đang thắng ấy, nó lên 2.4 cường cổ vũ Liquid mạnh quá, nó lại dí vào lại được ăn 2.4.
Cay thế nhờ.
Vãi Linh này.
Cái
đạn bay hay quá nhờ. Sập đang đéo ngoài bách đi. Đúng nó đánh rồi.
Nó biết. Nó kiếm Dosan mà. Nó kiếm Dosan mà hết game rồi. Nó ăn đúng rồi. Về. Thôi đi ăn Dosan, đã về rồi đi ăn Dosan đi.
Không, put nốt rồi về. Thì mẹ về luôn ạ, về ăn Dosan thật luôn ạ.
Thật đéo gì, cái game nó phải như thế chứ. Đã đánh gì đánh đến cuối về thì chả đi ăn Dosan.
Đấy, cứ lướt qua đã, lấy cái đi mẹ tác để đánh. Đấy, đúng rồi, đánh ở bên ngoài được luôn mà. Được chưa? Lấy cái tác để đánh thì từ bên ngoài được luôn.
Đêm đã refresh 2 cái ulti, 2 cái BKB của con rơi này.
Thôi. 2 cái Sandstorm không? Có 2 cái Sandstorm để giết nó không? Thôi
rồi.
Đi dắt tờ để mà counter con Kiến. Đéo có vision. Cụt đời.
Or Maposhka, by the way.
Nhưng mà đoạn đầu game hay quá. Chết rồi đại bác.
Vào luôn nếu không.
Nhưng mà thế thì Mega. Nhưng mà thế thì luôn bạn này. Nhưng mà thế thì Mega 45 về thôi, đi về thôi, về.
Team spirit. They don't get what they came for, but they did force a fortification.
Yeah, Weaver needs.
Thấy nó bóng 45 rồi đấy. Đã thấy ông Tiny một cười rồi. DKB lên chấm nhà.
Really safe here. Yeah, true. Not gonna take that risk. Collapse looked to have the opposite opinion. He popped his BKB trying to commit, but they ended up kind of having to back out. No, actually, he didn't pop his BKB. He popped his BKB to stay away from the glimpse. So
nhầm đấy.
Take that back.
Tao cần thêm một mạng nữa.
Nó biết luôn này thằng Zai này.
Try to do something with this fight. Free buyback available on Tiny.
Nó lại photo lên nó farm.
Risk is too high, which isn't enough to obtain by forcing this fight. You know you are this close to top 3. Fight.
Thằng Tiny này còn network cao hơn cả Spec á. Ảo nhờ.
Spec buyback mấy lần rồi mà anh.
Buyback lần nào đâu.
Nó buyback xong rồi chết đấy thầy.
Đấy là Vicky mà. Chả buyback lần nào luôn. Chả có lần nào có tiền buyback.
Ok, đánh nhau.
Ôi.
Nó em không bật có BKB.
Chết luôn.
Chưa có BKB.
Mất 45 à? Vẫn còn 45 luôn.
45 lao vào đánh ngược luôn này, thằng kia hết hỏa gấu rồi, đánh cái gì nữa. Không lên, 5, có exit.
Bật kia dàn không dám lên.
Ai ạ, nhìn kìa, cái bóng của ai vậy? Cái bóng của Spec khỏe vãi đái. Chết mẹ mày.
Gỡ nhờ tự nhiên trong combat có thêm cái bóng.
Rất khỏe luôn.
The barracks will remain for Spirit and the buyback as well for Collapse, which is definitely the bigger deal at this stage of the game. Is it? Still,
chờ luôn, chắc kèo quá, chờ thêm 45 giây nữa.
Mẹ team Spirit tự nhiên thua à?
Không,
không. Chả phải thua, nó chỉ bắt lẻ thôi.
Bet game cho Spirit, còn bet kill thì cho Liquid cộng 10 mấy ấy.
Thắng rồi, chắc chắn là thắng, kèo kill cân mà anh.
Kill hợp lý, đang thấy hợp lý cả hai kèo.
Still doesn't seem too bothered by it.
It's a decent chunk of Spirit's lead that's lost there in that exchange. We got a couple of towers, they got a big kill. Suddenly starting to feel within reach for Collapse again. And if they can outlast the Aegis and take one good team fight, all of a sudden this can getting really, really interesting. Spirit are probably going to try to force this bottom barracks within the next minute, I would imagine. They really want to just escort this screen.
Chết lại bị
rồi. Try to take this fight outside. Smoked up on Brewmaster energy gear.
Để đấm thôi.
Butterfly now secured for Mickey, despite Yotaro having MP.
Nó, em nghĩ là nó sẽ cố gắng bắt con Grim.
Worried about the implications of this fight. Our Spirit.
Chó Spec này.
Should know that there's still no fortification, but going for the bulldoze approach, maybe not best if you don't have a Spirit ring in. That was a joke, thanks.
Yes.
Hai con gì vừa đi qua ấy, hai con bóng gì
We all digest that great joke. Time of death, whatever, 51 minutes, 4 seconds to go the game. Corby's available. Nobody's thinking about that though, other than me.
Có smoke.
10 giây nữa hết BKB, hết Aegis rồi. Nó cho hết Aegis nó vào. Rồi hết Aegis. Hết Aegis rồi mới lao vào á.
Nó giết dài luôn, nó không cho dài hóa. BKB lên. Sao mày có thể làm được đây? Tiny
BKB trước.
BKB trước. Sang tôm nữa, nó chưa sang tôm. Không có sang tôm.
Nó bấm ở đây.
Nó vừa bấm cho con Tiny rồi, anh ơi.
Thế thì thôi rồi.
Thua rồi.
Không có Sandstorm thì thôi rồi.
Buyback đi
Bớt là mạnh quá nhở. Bớt phải lìn.
Đéo về được luôn mà, đéo làm gì được luôn mà.
For the kill onto Zai. Tornado for the time being already at half HP. He's just melting under the pressure. There's another hero with spy back
Gì thôi.
Hai co không ai bách. Đánh đéo.
Spirit sẽ ăn 6 kill nữa thì tôi mới ăn kèo 4 lên.
Còn kia nó không có buyback để đợi cho giết cơ.
Có lại 6 kill nữa. Bạn lại bet cho hai đầu à?
Tôi bet Team Spirit chấp 4 kill. 2.5 kill và Liquid chấp 16 kill.
Đánh nhà luôn,
không
đánh
nhà luôn.
Rồi tôi kèo kill rồi.
Ulti phát về lại chỗ cũ.
Tôi kèo kill rồi. Có được. Nhưng mà có ăn kèo Liquid kill.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Thiếu cường. Chắc là vẫn lãi. Cảm ơn Cường nha. Cảm ơn Cường nha.
Cường nha. Phải tin được.
Mẹ lại ủng cố niềm tin cho anh.
Anh biết phải nói gì đây.
Rồi, thì đã đến cái trận hay nhất của ngày
Trận
hôm
hay
nay
đây rồi. Chính xác.
Đúng rồi. Cái này là sao nhỉ? Lùi quay đầu à?
Đây rồi, trận hay nhất của ngày hôm nay. LGD và Azure Gaming, Azure dây.
Azure gì? Hay. Được. Đánh hay quá anh ạ. Dài trông mặt thất vọng lắm. Mẹ chắc ta phải đấm thằng mi kèm ấy phát. Địt mẹ mày đánh ngu thế. Quê đâu ngu vậy em. Địt con mẹ ngu này.
Công nhận anh mi kèm đánh ngu thật. Không thể phủ nhận.
Tham lam. Địt con mẹ mày 2 quả.
Bắt nào cũng là chậm một tí.
Quá buồn.
And Matomaman and sorry Matoma, your team lost.
Trời ơi, mấy anh em trong fanit mình là toàn ấy thôi.
What is that again?
Toàn mẹ ủng hộ GG vì độ đẹp trai thôi.
Địt mọ trừ thằng JGMG ra.
Không vô địch đâu, năm nay Trung Quốc còn vô địch.
Năm nay Trung Quốc vô địch là chuẩn đấy. Em thích thế.
Azure cửa dưới à?
Đâu phải là Azure cửa dưới.
Azure đây toàn mấy ông già, bọn kia thì bọn trẻ đánh.
Đúng. Azure cửa dưới. Thế thì đặt mẹ luôn, Azure trừ 1,5 luôn.
Càng nghe thì đã bắt hay công á. Nhầm rồi. Bet kèo chấp với cả bet kèo ấy đi, đừng bet kèo tỏng.
Yes, you might have a good start, but this inevitability of getting punished is going to occur. And fair play to Spirit. I love this Night Stalker pick as well, just for what it did for this mid game. Every time he wanted to, he just pops that ult, he walks throughout the fight. A Disruptor shows dead. Willow shows dead. Uh-oh, there's no time to play. He had to go BKB. I just think, this entire series was just two world-class teams going at each other within the draft, giving different heroes, trying to go for different answers. We saw in the as well, Blix trying to go for Disruptor. He wasn't too happy. It was a 50% win rate. Thank you, Liquid. And I like the fact that we see these teams making these small moves against each other.
Cay thế nhỉ?
Bet ngược. Mình kiểu âm thầm bet ngược ấy.
Cay thực sự. Là còn âm thầm nữa à?
As is the Team Spirit way, it's something that they're very notable for. But especially around the portals, I think there was times throughout the game where they had both top and bottom warded up. So they basically kind of just had like full vision of any way for Liquid to get around the map and then could just punish any moves. I think this Night Stalker just was such a great last pick that protected them in all of their fights, just from stopping Liquid from doing what they wanted to do, like T covered.
Yeah, and Mato, you've been singing Weaver's praises today, and he did not disappoint.
He most definitely didn't. I mean, they were like not the best heroes against Weaver per se. I mean, ideally he wants stuns against Weaver, just lock her down and kill him, so she can use her ulti. So
Mẹ sáng nay mưa to vãi cả đáy. Anh ạ.
And he got exposed. You can only pick Ricky when it's like a really know your matchup for sure. And in the past, Invoker was always mid, but nowadays, since the Sunstrike is stronger and actually can play on side lanes as well as support, so I feel like Liquid kind of, I don't want to say like that they like sabotage themselves, but they kind of like, they kind of did.
They kind of
that was shit. Really? What? What am I watching?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, because for all Liquid fans out there, we get to watch more Liquid, because if you go through the lower bracket, you just have to play more in order to still make it deep into the tournament, so we'll see how they do over there. We also know that we have a top 3 team amongst our mids. We got Team Spirit guaranteed top 3 here at the International, and the man of the hour is Yotaro, who is standing by with slacks.
Absolutely, thank you so much, Cheever. I am here with Yotaro! Oh boy, feels good to hear that again, huh?
Yeah.
All right, now, I got a big question for you. Every single pro player here is terrified of you. I've talked to them all. They say you're scary, they want to beat you, you're the one, yet they still are not beating you. I don't understand. Everyone agrees you're the best. They're terrified of you in particular, yet you still win. Can you explain this phenomenon?
I think I just have the best team ever. That's all.
Beautiful. Oh, so selfless. All right, let's talk a little bit about your performance in that. CK, unbelievable first game. You were just run all over. The Spectre, we don't talk about that. But the Weaver is pretty good. Are we going to see a lot more Weaver?
I hope so.
Gỡ luôn của hôm qua lô bạn ạ.
Được bạn.
Spectre.
Có 2.4 cơ à?
For sure, absolutely. All right, now we saw your journey so far. It's been incredible. Congratulations on top 3. I know it's never happened for you guys before. A huge moment, right?
Bet 20 vào ăn 2.4 thì nó phải là đúng rồi 48.
What? Come on, bro. You guys are good. Did you guys expect to be top 3? All right. Well, I'm expecting you guys to go to the grand finals, personally. When you do go to the grand finals, who do you expect to be there? Is this just, round 1 of the grand finals, potentially?
Yeah, so I think so.
So you think it would be Liquid again?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Will they break the second? Oh, someone just booed. What the hell? Relax. Jeez. All right, Yotaro, my boy. Looking out here in the crowd, is there anything that you have to say? Because last time, you guys have been out before, you're underdogs. Now everyone knows your name. I'm sure your pubs are miserable. Everyone's always trying to target you. What do you have to say to all of these fans out here that have been cheering you on?
Thank you everyone for supporting Team Spirit. We try harding so much, and we hope you enjoy our games.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Yotaro! Over at Team Spirit, thank you so much. An incredible performance as always. There's going to be so many carry weavers. We'll see many more coming up. Back to you guys. That's good. Do that.
Thank you very much, Yotaro and Slacks there. And I think one thing also that we have to address here, when Team Spirit won the International 2021, it was in Romania, and unfortunately we did not have a crowd.
I was the crowd, actually. I was there.
There was like 7 people.
There was like 7. There was
the 7 made a lot of noise, sure, but I don't think you can really compete with what's happening here. But I know, Sheep, there were a lot of people saying, oh, you know what, was it really TI without a crowd? It is so good to see them do it here in front of this many people.
Yeah, they can win again, but like in front of a crowd, that would be so hype, because, there was at least 10 of us. I don't know, I think it's just hype. I think a bunch of us on the talent team as well, it's like our first time covering in front of the crowd. The crowd just makes the event so much better. Everyone has been so energetic. Everyone here has been so amazing. It is awesome to be here.
It is fantastic. I think, Matu, you've played many times with and without a crowd. How much of a difference does a crowd make?
I mean, the fans make
Gần đây các team Trung Quốc đánh với nhau lại hay under vậy đại.
I don't even know how to describe it anymore.
Thế thì anh phải tin vào chính bản thân anh.
They make it happen. Without them,
tin vào Cường để
we
trong Cường bet gì thì mình ngược.
Đúng rồi. Có vẻ đấy là một phương án rất là hay.
Oh, thanks to you guys.
Lần đấy thằng Cường kèm team kia kiểu cảm thấy
that deserves an applause as well. Matu, I know that you're not going to be here for our upcoming series. We'll miss you, but I will want to ask you a couple questions about it. First of all, who's going to be up against Spirit in the bracket finals?
LGD.
All right. Second, is there anything else you want to say? This is your chance about Liquid, about the fans, about anything that you haven't said about yet. You're like, I'm gonna
không thể làm cho
one chance to say this one thing. What is it?
Đến 25 mà còn chưa cầm được cái BKB. Lại còn phải skip đồ để lên BKB.
Tell me to say whatever I want.
No, this is your time, and you know what? This is like, you can't get fired at this point. You know, you've gone the whole series. So you can say anything you want, almost anything you want.
That is true. Please. Hello to my wife, Katri. And obviously, win Liquid, Nisha. Do it.
Do it, all right. We're soon ready to move forward to our next matchup, Tigo. I do want to close the chapter on this series. Was Game 3 what you wanted it to be?
Nah, not really.
But why was that? Because I kind of feel the same.
I mean...
No, not in terms of result, Matu, please.
I'll be very honest.
out of this.
I'm actually pretty happy that we did see that result for international Dota, Eastern Europe, China, etc. But I always want the game to be a little bit more punch back, a little bit of a fight, and that felt a little bit one-sided once we hit that mid game.
And you know what? We're building up the day, so that should be present in our next series. I'm hoping that will be present in our next series. But before we get there, we're first going to check in with Tsunami, see what he's doing.
That's right, we've been playing a lot of games out here on the stage, but guys, I wanted to play a game with you guys in the crowd. You may recall, if you watched last year's TI in Singapore, we played a little game about trivia, and I had quizzed my panelists back then, but this time, it's time to put the crowd to the test. So you guys, are you ready for another edition of Forced 50%? It sounds like you are. Well, the rules are simple, my friends. I'm going to present you with a trivia question, of which I have a variety. And you have two options. It's not really going to be that hard. You have a 50% chance, just like in any game of Dota. And I believe I have an assistant out in the crowd who has found some contestants.
That's right. I've got a 5-stack here, and they are hype. Hello, how are you doing?
Fantastic.
Are you ready to play the Forced 50% game?
Anything for you, Slacks.
Oh, thank you so much. You play it every time you boot up Dota. The conspiracy theories are real. Quote me, quote me, quote me. No, just kidding. Who are you in the squad?
Offlane.
Offlane, and you?
Phil.
The what? Phil. The Phil? Oh. Okay, fantastic. This is how Force 50% works. Tsunami down there, he's going to give us some stuff. You guys are going to pick either A or B, one of the two choices. You can pick the same thing if you think it's right, but we're going elimination mode throughout your whole 5-man squad. Whoever gets it wrong gets kicked from the squad, and I replace them. Let's get this thing rolling. We're ready, Tsunami.
Let's do it then. Now, I'm going to be quizzing you off this entire international, from group stage to playoffs to now, the road and everything. So let's start off with our first question. Which hero has been banned more? Is it Anti-Mage or is it Mars? Now keep in mind, neither of these heroes have been picked yet, but one of them has been banned more. Which one is it?
All right, what has been... you know.
Uno.
That is Anti-Mage. I don't know why you have to put the flare on it, but no problem. All right, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Mars, off lane. Let's go.
Oh, already? Anybody? Crowd, what do you think?
Oh, we got a big Mars over here. All right then, computer, please reveal the correct answer.
Oh!
It is Mars.
You're out to go. All right, next up, hello, what do you play in the squad?
I click the funny button, the random button.
Oh my God, Giga Toxic, you're safe for now.
Đâu biết ngày mai có giới thiệu hero mới không?
I play as a mid. Okay, that's the confidence I'm looking for. You guys ready for the question? Okay, here we go. Let us have it.
Let's go with the second question. I want to quiz you all on items. Friends, which of these items has been purchased more throughout the international? Is it Hand of Midas or is it Blade Mail?
Maybe the hardest question I've ever seen. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Blade Mail.
Okay. Handamitis. Oh, another! This is a very combative stack here. Let's go.
It's forced 50%, baby.
That's right, baby.
Please reveal which has been bought more at this international.
Out you go! Kick
it's
from
the hand of Midas. We got time for one more slacks lined up by contestants.
Oh my gosh, we have one more? Grand finals, all right? You get to watch. I'm sorry, fifth guy. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hit it. What's the question?
Ladies and gentlemen, what has been killed more at this international? Couriers or Roshan?
Oh,
some dreams.
Hopes and dreams. That's not a question. Come on, bro.
My bad. Listen, only 14 sets of hope and dreams have been crushed. We still got teams left in the tournament.
Oh, couriers. Couriers? You have to pick the other one.
Roshan, we'll go for it.
Okay, fantastic. What's the answer?
Computer, please reveal what has been killed more.
There you go, fantastic. Thank you so much. You win the beautiful candle.
Friends. And that's another edition of Force 50%.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Tsunami and Slacks, and congratulations to the winner. We are only moments away from starting our final series of the day. LGD Gaming taking on Azure. We switch things up on the panel. Fear, how you doing?
Amazing. It is always amazing to be
Fear!
back here in the arena, of the greatest arena I've ever played in.
How about you, Stormstormer? I know this is your first time in Seattle.
Feeling good. Like, I mean, first of all, thanks for having me. What's up? Like, freaking Cloud Touch Arena is amazing. Holy shit.
It is amazing. I think the stained glass theme really does it justice. But you know what really does it justice here, Sheep? One word makes it justice. I'm looking for one word.
I don't know.
The Dota 2. The Dota 2 does it justice. It's amazing to be back, to have this world-class Dota coming your way. And for world-class Dota, we need world-class teams. And we got 2 of those. And we're going to have them take the stage right now. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody welcome Azure Ray.
Rồi, FY, thằng này đéo biết tên. Low. Charlie Summit FY.
We got Low, Somnus, Jealous,
Đừng để hoàng tử đi mẹ ngắm pháo hoa nữa mà.
coming to take their place here at Climate Pledge Arena. This is a team with a perfect mix of fresh faces and veteran talent. And how far can they go? That is the question. Can they raise the ages this time around? We'll see their opponents now.
Chắc phải
Welcome
xem
in,
phim
LGD.
rồi. Loki ra phần 2 rồi.
Chưa xem hả bạn?
Chưa.
Xem gì anh?
Ra rồi. Phải bật lên xem rồi. Ông chúng nó sờ boy cho bằng thế.
Anh ơi, anh biết bây giờ đáng xem
tập 4 rồi.
Đáng xem nhất là phim gì không? Anh Hưng.
Phim gì?
Pluto.
Mình đang không biết cái gì về nó, hiểu không? Mình có thể là để sau mình theo dõi cũng được.
Nhưng mà cái kia đã hết đâu, mới ra được 4 tập, đến khi nào full thì mình xem. Thì mình đừng né nó ra. Em cũng có xem spoil đâu.
Để tôi spoil cho bạn nhé.
Chờ bao nhiêu lâu?
Ôi, em thấy có cờ của Wing kìa.
Nhưng mà hay phết đấy. Thì mà hiện tại đến 4 tập đầu đang thấy hay, bánh cuốn, nhiều tuyết.
This is the hypest thing you're going to see this entire TI. I, for one, am so excited.
Do you have a favorite?
là phải vào xem.
Honestly, I actually really love LGD, the new LGD. I have been following them all year.
But the new LGD, but do you then
ai chớp cuối cùng là ai chớp?
LGD Gaming currently under the banner of LGD.
Cuối cùng là LGD vẫn chớp.
I covered Chinese DPC this year, so I kind of got to watch them
chấp
grow.
hơi nhiều, hơi sâu đấy.
Personally through these games,
Người già sẽ đấm vào mồm.
They have been
Rồi làm kìa.
with every land they get more experience. It is actually just beautiful to watch these players that kind of were very new come into such a big brand name and then blossom into where they are now.
Yeah, we got two teams that know each other very well. We got a good mix of veterans and newcomers. I specifically want to start talking about
FY vẫn truyền thống đi mẹ dùng bàn phím cắm dây.
That is a perfect shade of azure on
Người duy nhất ở trong team AR dùng bàn phím cắm dây.
Nhưng mà anh đẹp
trai hay thích ngắm pháo hoa.
Form a team. It could be fun. We could play Dota again. We've got a bunch of legends in there. You're bringing some new blood into the mix too. And this team, on averages, they're pretty older. They're on the older side, but yet they're still crushing it. They have all the experience, and their gameplay has spoken for themselves. It's been a rocky year overall for like China, I'd say, from what we used. But like towards the end of the year, both these teams have really stepped it up and have brought like A-class Dota coming from China.
Yeah, Stormstormer, you're intimately familiar with Azure, probably sadly so for your side.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. What can you tell me about them? Because there's going to be a lot of people watching that don't watch the whole year and they come in for Azure. I don't know these guys, how they play, what they do.
Well, as Fear's already said, I think they're a pretty newly formed team, which is quite impressive for them. Like, one of these two teams is going to go top 3 no matter what, right? And Azure, what I find fascinating about them, I learned about them in the best of 2 we played against them, is that they have like quite some unique playstyle. Like, they love fighting so much, like even no matter what happens in the early game, they don't fear back of bringing all 5 numbers to a team fight and bringing the numbers together. I think they just really respect each other a lot. It looks like a team to me that, like, if one guy says let's go, all people follow that call. So it is definitely like a team with some, I think, own character.
They have their own character. They are familiar with each other. I want to talk a little bit about experience.
Thầy trông đéo khác gì thằng đi thiểu năng này. Đâu đi về đây là gì điển hình của mấy thằng Trung Quốc, râu để ngang cho chẽ ra hai bên, xong rồi mắt híp.
That type of experience being needed in order to come further, because last year, Stormstormer, that was your first TI, right? How much did last year's experience help this year?
It definitely helps quite a bit. I think in general, every single LAN that you join and that you play, you progress, like your experience, you like are less afraid of playing in front of a crowd, if that makes sense, and everything. The nerves, you stay more cool about it and everything. So I think what is really interesting about this Azure team,
đạo diễn 8.
They have a lot of newer, like younger players, and of course all the veterans, as you said. So I think they're gonna have I think a really good mix of like emotions and also like calming down, because I think you need a little bit of both. You shouldn't be like too unemotional.
Nhìn tinh thần Azuri thoải mái này, đi để cười vãi đìn nè, rồi nhìn mấy thằng LGD mặt căng thẳng vãi đái.
Healthy balance, exactly.
Nào cũng đi mãi chả thắng, tự nhiên thành áp lực.
You have a favorite here, Fear, by the way?
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do like the fact that Azure is a team that has some of like the names I played with, like when I was playing professionally, they came back. They're doing really well. It's hard to go against LGD. They're 11-1 right now. That's a spotless record, really. But
đói thế nhở? Sẽ xuống chạy đi mua đồ ăn ạ.
It's come from a confident Azure.
Yeah, and I know you did a little
Nãy đưa Ngân đi làm, kéo biết đường mua đồ ăn.
Lúc Ngân đi làm mưa to vãi cả đái, mưa trắng mẹ đường mà.
Không liên quan gì cho không mua đồ ăn.
Mà không, ăn đồ ăn trưa, chứ không phải đồ ăn sáng.
Thì đi đã mua sẵn đồ để chưa ăn.
Thôi về tí xuống ngay dưới nhà em có cái cửa hàng bán cơm mà.
You're seeing a lot of Luna, you're seeing a lot of Spectre. Of course,
nhà nào chẳng có cửa hàng bán cơm.
Có
phải là phải bao cấp đâu.
Mà ngon nữa anh ạ. Quán này em đánh giá khá ngon.
So it's very nice to see that.
Khá thì đéo được rồi. Tao chỉ ăn những quán rất ngon thôi, khá ngon tao đéo ăn.
Hay đéo ổn rồi, nó phải có tùy hoàn cảnh ạ.
Spectre, there's a lot of Luna, there's a lot of CK, a lot of overlap here. You gotta get to the bottom half of this list here. We're gonna start to see some differences, or that's the Weaver might come out.
Ôi, tính ra bọn Trung Quốc giống nhau phết nhờ anh nhỉ?
But those top 4 heroes, You can tell these guys play a lot against each other.
It's pretty crazy. It's very crazy to see.
Ô, thằng Lâu này là thằng nào vậy anh? 22 tuổi.
The biggest thing in
Lâu Hoàng này.
Lâu Hoàng à, Lâu Hoàng. Hát một bài đi nào.
That's how popular he is. Everybody, when you think of a carry player playing in China,
Sao
it's
nhỏ?
one of these two
Có vô
players
cùng,
will
tại vì
guarantee
thật ra
top
thằng
three. And therefore they'll
Azuray
take
ấy,
his place maybe.
nó gặp cái
I
team đơn
think
giản quá.
obviously whilst their hero pools were very
Ủa, ai
similar
gọi điện
there,
đây?
if we look into the past, I think Shiro has had, I don't know so much about
Mẹ mày thứ bấy mà cũng gọi bố mày đi làm đéo đâu.
during like Lima Major, for example, that he was digging into the carries that hadn't been picked by anyone else. I think PA back then was very rare, and he was playing it. Like this guy doesn't shy away from a hero pick if they feel like it fits into a draft, which makes them very scary. Like how they brought out the Willow carry for this event. Yay! Everyone loves 60-minute Willow games. Woo! But that's
He set the meta. There's loads of people that tried it after him.
Yeah, he's really talented. I've been very impressed with how he has come into himself as a carry this year.
And we'll see how he does here today. There's another first-timer that we wanted to highlight because it's quite a unique situation for Tianming to be in. This is the oldest newcomer that has graced the international this year, which is 27 years old. For a Dota player, Fear, pretty old or decent or young? I don't know. How do you judge?
I won TI when I was 27, so maybe it's the
lucky
magic
time,
number.
hey,
Yeah,
magic
we'll have to see here. But we haven't seen a lot of him because this is the first TI he's attended, and he's been playing Dota competitively since 2014, right? So he's been at it, and like, who's this new Tianming? He's not new. He's been on the grind. He's finally making it to the big stage. Consistency and like determination has really been like really how he got here, and it's really admirable.
Yeah, and from you know, not making it in open qualifiers, I know that the 2 TIs after that, he did have to go through open qualifiers to get to the qualifiers, and he just got a little bit further every single time, Stormstormer. That is incredibly admirable.
I think it's very admirable for sure. I think there's a lot of players who like get on their TI maybe the first couple of years, their first good years, like you and other people. But as you said, I think it's really good to point that out because I think it's absolutely impressive that like he's one of the older players and like he kept trying and trying and trying because some people might just give up after like the 5th or 6th try. This is try number 7, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, try number 6, I think.
Try number 6.
6 time lucky. Yeah.
Number 6 is lucky, and 27 years old, it's admirable for sure.
I really want to talk about Wallace graphics on the screen. The camp stacked difference is insane. I think Azure Ray have by far the lowest average camp stacked in this tournament compared to like a lot of the top teams in this tournament right now have around like 16-ish, 15-ish. So they are really, like you said earlier, Stormer, they are just fighting.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I meant. Like we also had those stats, by the way. We researched them, and like our coach is saying those guys don't stack; they just fight. You know, like you know, we attack that tier 1 tower. They're bringing 5 numbers, and our coach says, guys, this is gonna happen. Like this. But this is what I love about them as well. Like I think this is what's gonna be really interesting because LGD is maybe a little bit more, how do you say, a by book team, if that makes sense. Yeah. They play this really.
More clinical?
Yeah, exactly. More clinical kind of Dota, and Azure is a bit more.
500.000 điên nè, shiny. The fuck?
你在说什么呀？听不懂哎。好呀，好呀，好呀，没问题的呀，好的呀，没问题。
Rồi, các đội nào đây anh em?
Chưa bet, chưa bet.
Chưa bet à? Được. Tuyệt vời.
遥遥领先，朋友，遥遥领先。我哪里猜了呀？标准眼睛乱说好吧？尊嘟假嘟。
I think they mainly still prepare for each other, try to stay as awake as possible because it's getting quite late for them, and basically also enjoy some of the matches that happen.
Nếu xong ấy kèo xong lên mua đồ ăn nào.
They prepared themselves for that one. These two teams, they have played each other, even though Azure has only been around for a couple of months. They did play together against each other, I should say, in Tour 3 of their DPC and also at the Bali Major. They are 5-3 in favor of LGD, just games-wise, and every series that they played,
Đi về chúng nó chế cái ảnh. Đi ra nó chế cái ảnh, đi ra về cười vãi lìn anh ạ.
I don't know. Technically, the team winning is going to be also learning about the team they're being, right? I think these teams are both very good, but I would give it in favor of LGD, just because they've been together longer. They also have history like before being on LGD. Like Shiro and Planet played together on eHome. They're very good.
They are incredibly good. How good will they be today? And who will be the best? We'll have to play some Dota for that one.
Đây là Tofu Mosa.
LGD Gaming.
Rồi, bạn thích rồi.
Game 1.
Upper bracket semi-finals. Nobody eliminated, but top 3 is around the corner for one of these two teams. We got
Lu là
Azure
carry anh ơi.
side, LGD on the dire side.
Điến nè.
First pick, I believe, is going the way of
FY. FY nó còn để tên là FY không?
Có anh.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Để tên không biết rồi nhỉ?
FY đã đều gửi tên Excel 8 rồi về à?
Vậy lên. Excel 8.
Sao ấy?
Ôi mẹ, nhưng mà Excel 8 ngày xưa hay ấy mà đều bán nhiều khác.
Meta Phoenix phải ban ngay, không để nó Big Phoenix để nó chết.
Which is super impressive.
Lord FY tập Phoenix ghê lắm.
Do you want to know some lore?
Yes.
BB
Chinese means cow, but it is also
Bạn chơi á.
for being
Người bạn đấy được.
and cows are reliable
Bạn
and
xem
cool.
tao.
He is the reliable and cool guy.
Ban cho BB đi.
The BB Breaker BB.
It's still in, by the way. Yeah.
I actually would love to build off that though.
Bên kia không biết là biết gì mà lại sử dụng ban thẳng NB ở first bang. Ngay bên này có một thằng
Ban A để Big BB. Đúng vậy.
BB 3 mà, BB 3 mà nhả BB. Thực sự luôn không hiểu sao lại nhả BB luôn.
Cố tình.
Ăn bỏ con lên
cảm thấy có nhiều chỗ.
He's going above and beyond expectations. We're an
He's
way above the bar right now, and I think that's why LGD is doing so well right now. Because yeah, sure, we see a lot of offlaners pop up, but for LGD, like having an offlaner having the best KDA tournament is it's out of this world. It's super impressive.
Để đấy người ta.
Ồ, anh Z mới được nâng cấp lên làm full xe rồi, à nhầm, được làm bảo vệ rồi. Em để xe ở đây các thứ kiểu được quá. Ồ, mưa ta này. Em đang chưa biết làm cách nào để counter mưa ta.
Đây là mà
không nghĩ là Tuzay có thể thắng.
So I think both teams are
ban ngay con Grim, đúng rồi, ban Grim là đúng.
LGD haven't even flexed it this tournament, I believe. They've only played it on Planet, on that POS 4.
So no Shiro.
Đây trận này là vẫn là nhánh trên mà.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm very confident you can play it, but they haven't flexed it yet, which makes me think that they might just really prefer it for Planet's playstyle. I think Planet is an incredible full position. He was like the MVP of at least like DPC 2. I remember his Rubik being, like his movements on the map. He was just so reliable. He rarely fed. His position was just great. Like, Planet is so
AR anh ơi.
He's probably gonna have more.
Tuần sau sẽ là AR. À đó. Ban này. Ban. Đây, tí nữa nếu thằng ban cuối cùng ấy, lượt ban cuối cùng thì sẽ là pick.
We know
ban
Bristol's
xong
really
pick
strong,
luôn.
most teams won't give it away, but you're 0-2
Đấy,
with
SB
it.
rồi.
We'll take our chances.
Đấy mang nơ.
There's nothing to
Nhiều
say,
SB.
Magnus. Okay, so maybe of course
Nhà
SB
SB
is
luôn.
going to be flexible.
Được.
It's nothing to say. I
Hỏi
think
SB
this is one of
luôn,
his most
không lấy
favorite
cả
heroes
xà
ever.
luôn.
He loves his hero on Spearbreaker, and of course his hero against most melee mids, which are really prominent right now, is just really, really strong. You have this Shockwave to skewer on the mid lane, you get them into your tower. And I think since Nothing to Say honestly started being a player into like TI10, I think this has been one of his most signature heroes together with the Tinker. So I really like this pickup from LG. And Spearbreaker still up, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How do you punish a mag mid? That'd be the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not that obvious. I mean, some heroes just like generally get skewered into the tower. Like some people have been experimenting, like for example, like Konka, because you can like get creased from the range, and you don't fall into the skewer range that easily.
It's also a melee hero, so you could always OD.
OD.
Even forget the soundless OD. I mean, it's true. It's a thing that he loves to pull off.
SD SD chắc là để úp con mua ta lại.
Azure instead decided to go for the double support the Shadow Demon.
Clock.
Clocker go cross.
Ban Dom Brecco kìa anh kìa.
Catch with the hook shot, and Shadow Demon is now offering a save against RP, which is insanely valuable. You now don't have to be afraid that your cores get bursted anymore. And they're keeping the next priority then for the mid laner for Song.
And FY's Clockwork is
giải này hình như chưa pick con Wyvern nhỉ? Winter Wyvern.
Actually, he's like kind of back in so many ways this patch. Like, I've been kind of looking at his item builds, and he's not really building support items. The only time I saw him build a 4-staff was like on some Silencer and he lost. He's going for the Midas, he's going for the Gleipnirs. He went Blade Mill into Assault Cross Clockwork one of the games. My man's getting farmed.
Ôi,
He's getting a
mà
lot
một
of
bên
farm,
Muerta, một
and
bên
he's
BB à?
going back to his
Được
old
đấy
roots
à?
where he can carry from position 4. And
Hai
it's been
con
beautiful,
đều-
and his Clockwork has looked really good.
Em thấy con Muerta khỏe hơn con BB ấy, nó bắn con BB vãi cả đái ra.
Versatile role is
Ngoài lâu rồi.
apart from when you're talking about FY, because he
Ngoài
has
lâu.
like 10 different heroes played so far this event, which is way above average. As Willow gets picked up there on the side of LGD.
So this next pick for LGD is going to be quite interesting. They have to pick one more hero, and this is going to reveal quite something. So they have this Willow, which can be flexed with the carry position. Of course, it is like it was invented by this team, basically, right? But still, now I think they're going to have to at least show, hey, is this Muerta going carry? Okay, Vengeful Spirit. Yeah, now, so this means... Wait, let me not go crazy.
This
Okay,
means
she's still not
Willow
obvious.
carry, Venge support.
I mean, do they, in theory, play Venge on the off lane?
I think right now they're going to keep the flex open, but I'm assuming most likely is going to happen is this Morta / Willow will most likely be the carry, and then you're going to have the Venge on probably Pos 5 and Magnus. It could go off lane, but as you said, Nothing to Say is so good on the hero that they're probably leaning that way.
Yeah, I'm not
Weaver Azure pick ngay cho mình phần carry cũng khá hot ở thời điểm hiện tại với Weaver.
They got this from the Spirit Liquid series, you know, maybe the carry player before they play this hero. Now he's like, okay, just give it.
Well, Shiro was playing it, right?
Yeah, he has
he's
played it this
Yeah,
event,
so it's only a block pick, and I think Shiro is the one
Ủa
who
Tinko ban
played it the
Tinko
most
á,
this
what the
tournament
fuck?
so far, and a lot of teams are like, you know, LGD, they're
Tại sao lại ban Tinko nhờ?
Shiro's winning this, let's play some more Weaver. Now everyone that seems to pick Weaver is winning, so this hero's stocks are definitely going to
Mẹ mà Trung Quốc cái ban dị thế
It
nhở?
looks pretty decent so far. I don't
Nó biết
know
nhau
what
chúng nó
bad
ban
Weaver
thôi.
game is anymore after watching this hero in action after the last couple of games.
I agree. He looks really powerful. I'm actually curious on you guys' thoughts. How do you think LGD is going to stop Azure right from running at them? I see a Clockwork and a Weaver. They're just going to go on you. Like, you playing with a bunch of squishy-ish heroes that don't really like to be run at, and then 3 heroes that like to run at you.
You make them run at you faster by skewering them first.
Okay, sounds good.
And then they get out of position, and then you can kill them. But the question is going to always be, when it comes to like these bristleback type of heroes, can you have the damage to kill them, even if you skewer them back? Whereas like sometimes you want a Silver Edge carrier, and I think Willow was a hero that a lot of people kind of looked at as like the answer. I forgot which team talked about this. Like, there's a bristleback. We want to pick Willow. We believe it's good. They're going to buy the Silver Edge, they're going to get the Aghanims, and they're going to try and burst them. So this is, that's why I believe this Willow could potentially be a carry just to counter this bristleback.
So Azure is going for the last pick now.
Quá nhiều con farm, quá nhiều chỗ
because I think they're really interesting. So for one, they banned the Nothing to Say Tinker. It's also one of his most signature heroes, I think. Which means that they were thinking, hey, this might be, I think, a mag off lane that will support a Muerta carry. Still, of course, it's not obvious what LGD is going to last pick. They're just going to wait to see what Azure is going to pick and maybe what still, I find that ban very, very interesting because I think Tinker has maybe not been played on this TI yet.
Nhưng mà Gian thì bên cũng mưa ta được pick Gian thì đâu.
But still, it goes to respect of Nothing to Say, of course.
Mưa ta bắn xuyên phiên mà bắn xuyên bị hốt.
Now this next pick from Azure is going to be really interesting. It's going to be a mid hero for Somnus, of course, and he has quite a big hero pool.
Snapfire. Snapfire đi mid.
Wow, we did not see this hero since a very long time.
What makes this a good Snapfire game? Is it a good Snapfire?
I don't know. Like, it is one of the heroes that is really stable on mid and it's hard to get countered. It has, of course, really good synergy with
mạnh mẽ lên làm quả ES nào.
The hero really, in terms of early game and like
bò lúc lắc
did not get nerfed too hard. People really moved away from this hero.
Làm gì bò lúc lắc, stun trên stun các thứ vào, vì nhiều stun vãi cả đái ra.
But yeah, it's once again it shows that it's Somnus. Like this guy is not being afraid of picking anything that he like ever used to play. Doesn't say any confidence. Now it's interesting what LG is gonna pick into this.
Nice.
Oh, con nào đi mid?
Offlaner at the end. We're seeing a lot of different ideas coming against this Weaver. It's really good the meta. We saw the Disruptor, Night Stalkers, and Great Answer. They just want more.
Nothing to Say đi mid đúng không anh?
Yeah, and it will be a carry Muerta, in case anybody is wondering. Shiro will play the Muerta, not the Willow.
Very similar heroes, right? Like,
yes.
They both do magic damage. They both build a Silver Edge. They just got everything they possibly could to try and steal this Bristol back.
Tắt mic nào.
Choose your hero.
Choose your hero. Lâu Hoàng. Ui, set này giống set của mình thế nhỉ? Set Weaver.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ready set.
Anh giết đi dắt xe rồi.
Mẹ thằng kia tay vàng khè. Thằng kia vừa bốc cứt của con nào rồi.
Bốc mùi luôn mà.
Sắm vào tay vàng khè.
Đi.
Bọn Trung Quốc tàu này cứ bạ vàng là nổ. Sức mạnh gì mạnh mẽ là nó sẽ có màu vàng.
Từ màu đỏ anh.
Cứt.
Mẹ thế thì con Magnus này đi từ đầu đến cuối mẹ luôn.
Vàng đồ xịn là vàng khé hết các kiểu màu vàng.
Màu đỏ chứ.
Đỏ đeo màu đỏ mà đắt đâu.
Vãi, màu đỏ đắt mà. Ruby này.
Cái này là còn nó định cầm dao Ruby nữa à?
Bet tất tay cho Azure nào.
Enjoy the...
Tôi đã bet cho Azure 10 niềm tin rồi. Game 1 10 niềm tin dành cho Azure.
Em cũng 10 niềm tin xong. Em
Sommer. Em ngoài lại còn lu nữa, cái này thì trời ơi. Đúng mới thằng già thôi. Bet chưa?
Chưa bet, chưa bet.
Thằng Lâu mới có 22 tuổi mà.
Thả rồi, tin vào BB thôi.
BB tìm có BB rồi nhưng bên kia lại có người ta.
Thôi nhá, mọi người cứ xem nhá, em đi mua đồ ăn đây nhá. Tắt mic. Đâu rồi?
Người
Nick
ta sẽ phải rồi trận này sẽ bắt lưu cho Andre.
Phim đi Dương còn bay map chứ nó đi rồi.
Đâu?
Nó đang để cho bên nào ấy chứ.
Em
Nó
để
quay
Nó đang để auto tự quay.
Bắt lưu cho Andre.
Xem các thông số.
Được, để tôi share.
Livestream thôi. Em ngoài xứng đáng có một nhưng mà em ngoài xứng đáng nhưng mà nó tính super early aggressive.
I think it does have this early kill threat onto something like Muerta. You're very immobile early game.
Nhưng mà bên này có cả maybe.
Hook shot kisses, that hero is very likely to die, and that's the carry.
Maybe đéo xứng đáng.
Xứng đáng vẫn lên.
What I see for it, but maybe also just other little things, of course, too, versus this Willow, too. They have this burst, so he's going to be able to go through the Shadow Realm. And hey, maybe he just wants to get it so he can go for some crazy type of scaling that we haven't seen on Snapfire in some time.
And you talked about, of course, the Weaver pick as well for low. I've got to say, we kind of heard it on the panel. Do you think there is something about being here at TI, the teams watching each other, that's kind of infectious? Because we've seen a lot of Weaver today.
Yeah, I think people, I mean, I've been hearing a little bit more on the back end and stuff like that, but people are just talking about this hero's gotten so many buffs, and the meta overall, yes, it can be a bit slow with these hard-to-take heroes, but this hero can actually thrive on taking advantage
Maybe
of
hay mà,
so
nó thành tôi này chắc đéo ăn được maybe. Cần kéo thôi.
Constantly resetting, and you scale very, very hard. You get this 25 talent, this Geminate attack is absolutely ridiculous. Even mid-game, you do farm pretty damn well this new build that we're seeing, this Deso shard build. We'll see if Low does do the same thing, but let's see how these lanes end up going down, in particular, this mid matchup.
Absolutely, I think all eyes on the mid to see if Somnus is able to play it safe, for indeed, as was potentially suggested by the panel, if he might get a bit too close trying to get the blast in onto Nothing to Say, and maybe Nothing to Say is able to find a cheeky screw under the tower. Somnus, when you're playing around like that, you see Nothing to Say teasing around with the approach of a skewer. But we'll see if he gets tripped up in the mid matchup, because again, killing this challenge, he's going to be okay. I mean, looking at the top lane in general, how easy of a lane is this for Shira in the safe lane? Is this going to be a lot of pressure thrown at the Muerta early on?
It depends. It's all depending on how much effort he's able to get these stacks up and everything with positioning. But overall, I think he should be pretty okay with the Venge behind him. I'm just having a difficult time just looking away from mid, because I think this is the one everyone's going to be looking at, how this matchup's going to be, since we haven't seen it in a long time. The Snapfire is just not really being played in any role, but especially not in mid. And you heard Stormstormer there saying himself on the panel, he's curious how this is going to go, because in the past, Snapfire dominant, but
it really was. I guess sort of just over time, it was what, nerfs to the hero, nerfs to what some of the items would be building on this hero as a universal.
I'm just watching Somnus just lining up the blast, and since he has that range advantage as well, too. Have a good time. I'm just curious the item building, right? That's the biggest thing. We see the 8 toes, the Gleipnir kind of build. What route are we going to see more Snapfire?
I feel like you can maybe get some sort of boss rush and kind of go around the map, get pretty aggressive, get involved in a lot of action. We'll see how sort of active they want to play, or if indeed they want to sort of sit back and get some good farm on something. Maybe whilst the Weaver, Low is playing the more active role.
Yeah, could be a possibility. We'll have to see which route they go. I mean, right now they set themselves up. The lanes are good. They shouldn't, in theory, die too much in these. The Weaver should be safe versus this Night Stalker until nighttime hits, of course. Mid should be pretty safe. Top, we'll have to see the volatility. It's up to how fast that Vanguard comes out for Chalice if he's going to be safe up here.
Sure, and if sort of Chalice pushes it a bit too far, the aggression good Chalice playing it safe. See if they can maybe turn it with
bên trên này có mỗi Spirit thôi. Bây giờ thằng nào thằng trận này đi lên trên.
The Dream stick lane. Shadow Demon Bristleback. Everyone's just going to be thriving off those wand charges. So.
Absolutely, yeah. They already got the full one, as you say, done on Shira.
Low is actually struggling a little bit. I mean, a tiny little bit nowadays. He actually has a pretty massive wave coming in. But first view, I think we saw similar coming out from the Night Stalker earlier when he was dominating from Collapse, at least in the first few waves. Should be fine. He has, what, 4 or 5 creeps coming into him, so.
This mid lane, though, good stuff so far from
Very nice.
Keeping that edge, playing to the favorability of being at range there against the Magnus, and not giving them, to say, any sort of chance to outplay him so far in this 1v1.
Yeah, I'm honestly just like waiting to see what he does look to queue up, because even this, I'm curious about just the early game potential, even this later stages, how much he's going to be able to do if he does look to go for this type of pretty. I don't know. I'm just unsure if he's going to be able to do it.
I mean, if there was any sort of start to the game that would lead towards,
this would be it. Absolutely.
Free farm in this mid matchup. Somnus, he's got all the routes to potentially choose between when it comes towards that item kill.
Quiet start though, 4 minutes, no kills.
Making sure not to overextend that hand too much in these matchups.
And looking at is a big thing that we, of course, have to point out from the side of LGD that they did early. They see a Bristleback, they see a Shadow Demon. You know there's going to be stacks. Look at the two camps right off the bat. Didn't point it out, but they've been blocked the entire time. There is no hard camp. There is no Ancients to be stacked. So this Bristleback is going to be hampered quite a bit. And I think Panel did mention it also. If you looked at the way the games in this leading up to this were, the stacking from LGD, they've been 2 times as much stacks on average per game as Azure has. So already looking to limit that a bit.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to imagine, right, Azure, they're gonna realize this. They're gonna have to do something about this. You're playing these heroes, as you say, without potentially getting the stacks up. It's gonna feel pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's not really a point in going over to D-Ward it, though. There's only 2 minutes left on it, so I'm sure they're just gonna play it, and yeah, they'll go stack afterwards. But see if there's any repercussions.
You don't get Planet in the cogs, but Shadow Realms at the ready. Xianming not going to be able to finish off the job there.
Look at this, that lasted some bits Omnis.
I tell you, I think he could go for something crazy with the build. It is one of those Midas patches, but I don't want to see it. But you never know. You know,
never
the temptation can be there with those late game talents on a Snapfire that you want to go towards. See what's
Mệt quá, maybe đánh mượt quá. Nothing to say, ngóc rồi.
Does actually buy the sentries. He's annoyed by it, so he is going to back away and will be able to take out both of those. But one of them, the damage is kind of done for the most part. But at least he'll get that next upcoming spawn that comes up. So let's save.
Got to watch out in the mid as well. Somnus, he's 1 creep away from hitting the 6. That gives the chance for a potential outplay.
Rồi, một phát nữa lên 6 này, đánh luôn này. Lên 6 ulti, mang nốt luôn. À nhưng nó có đẩy. Này 6 rồi.
Both mids now hitting the 6.
Em nó 6.
Any sort of rotation comes in. I mean, a +1 around the mid could secure a kill. And of course, at this point, even a burst blood up to 6 minutes in. Anybody taken out yet?
Clear.
Either one of these are killable.
Chạy rồi.
So if you don't land an angle to the other tower +1 rotations, let's see which runes are going to be.
Đấy, bắt đầu rotate ra mid để giết.
I mean, this could be a potential setup even for the TP ganks on the side lanes here, as nighttime, of course, was hit about a minute ago. So
level 6 không có outplay gì rồi.
We'll have that available for himself. He's getting slowed down though. Also, this Night Stalker. You're seeing the last hits of the Weaver now starting to thrive this lane. Definitely strong versus the Night Stalker with the Clockwork backup. So a new start, a bit slower. So far for Azure, the lane dominant kind of strategy that they went for with their picks, it's working in these first.
We'll be able to catch up a bit during the night time. That extra bit of a strength. Yeah. Aggressive potential in the lane.
Đánh rồi. Mạng đầu tiên.
Ready to join forces with the two of them. Chalice and F-Wide to try and take Shiro and White Smart down. They've got the disruption to set up. Chalice and Loaded close in a bit more.
Mày mà còn về người tôi đấy. Nhưng mà nó phải được thật kìa. À, chết rồi. Đi chết.
The blood grenade throw out.
À, rồi. Nó nổ đàm tí chết thằng bé. Tranh run. À, đều tranh được.
And very nicely done too. It's just little things of spell casting, of course, but why? Of course, using that stun on the Bristle ensures that they get the secondary kill. Very nicely done.
Making that hit at a fantastic moment. Just because the points before Low was able to have that 6 online, there was no time lapse available. It was an aggressive move, a greedy move, and it gets punished.
It does, and we're probably going to see Somnus doing that Boots of Travel build, it's looking like. I mean, holding on to 1,500 gold, it fits the build. It fits exactly what they wanted to do.
But this is the danger. When you're playing the mid-snap, it's sort of like, do I get a Midas? Do I get the bots? You know, both are very, very tempting. We'll see which one he wants to lean towards.
It feels like when he has, like, I mean, the Weaver is, of course, these are kind of like these semi-carries that can play early that scale later on, so maybe he does feel like it, but it feels like the Boots of Travel just fit what they want to do in this game, which is playing super fast and aggressive, getting early rotation objectives.
Not for sure. Well, especially if you've got sort of your carry Weaver making these twin gates movements 7 minutes into the other half of the map, you can tell that...
Đánh rồi, mid muốn đánh rồi.
It looks like we're going to see the same build. I mean, this has now been the stable Weaver build. I think it's the Dragonlance Bracer and then perhaps that Deso afterwards. See if he does vary.
More focus around the mid lane now. Nothing to say having the presence of Planet alongside.
Mấy thằng này trên đuôi rùa.
6 online himself. 7.5 right now in the Willow. To that move top, things starting to calm down once again.
Slight movement down bottom though. 5. He's making the rotation down with the Night Stalker.
Hard to get the opening on this.
It's level 6 on you, so he can do the double, you know, the Dark Ascension thing where he does get the double silence.
Đánh rồi.
+1, they could have kill threat to the Weaver.
Liu.
And they should get him in. New and Planet chasing down Tianming. They'll find the kill. They're
Hai
going to have the information required to avoid this potentially. Shearer's able to clip him with the silence.
Đéo thay được, vẫn phải chết thôi.
Very nicely done there by LGD as they take down.
5 thằng xuống một gành.
Very unexpected rotation, and Shiro gets the perfect connection, and they have the followed silence as well too. Get the angle. That's 2 now for the Weaver. Getting slowed down in this early game.
And this hurts, being out at that point, lowest at the moment out of the cores after having quite good CS in the laning stage.
And it can hurt a lot, especially when you're playing into these silences overall. Like Night Stalker versus Weaver, this is a matchup that can quickly become very difficult for a Weaver. Especially if you itemize in a pretty cool way, which I'm seeing New already itemizing in a kind of cool way. I don't think I saw this one earlier. An early Blade Mail for the Night Stalker. It is the Blade Mail meta for these tanky heroes, but I think we saw this early.
Chưa luôn, mẹ. Rất lâu.
Yeah.
Ở đây rồi, mid ulti luôn. Đổi được, đổi Cherry lấy offlane được. Đây nữa, thấy rồi này. Để úp lại. Kéo úp. Đừng nghe bạn nói gì đâu, rất là các bạn bị kém. Kiểu buồn cười lắm. Nói như kiểu bị tăng nơ ấy. Buồn cười lắm. Tí nữa bạn lên stream nghe lại cái đoạn bạn nói, buồn cười lắm, đỡ chịu được. Đúng vậy, làm nhạc đã lên.
Standing in pretty good shape. Not been able to be getting these kills, but not quite able to put them on the same.
Thì phải bắn tín hiệu lại cho Z.
Đây rồi.
Nhiều nhưng mà thì phải bắn đúng tín hiệu. Zoom.
Setting up for bottom near his backup, so tough attempt.
Đây rồi, muốn bắt thằng Clock rồi. Úp nó lại để cứu, đúng rồi. Đéo tiến vậy. Không được, đéo kia được. Thằng Clock nó cử giật cho, không kia được.
Anh biết đặt niềm tin vào ai chưa? Đặt niềm tin vào Azuri. 2 câu cho Azuri.
Mẹ thấy đi ăn 7 lần hay sao mày ơi?
Đúng vậy anh.
Anh không đặt kèo nào, anh không đặt kèo cầu. Hay lên chung kết anh mới đặt kèo cầu. Hoặc là trận thao,
and Chalice is just getting away with the typical bristleback thing. He's just going on the side. He's got to have good timing, it looks like, onto his Aghanims with the normal build.
Another tower take.
Another one.
They're really ticking off all the boxes here in this early game, Azure.
That's a big downtime now for the side of LGD. We see the RP being used. So now they're probably feeling like they need to chill a little bit, stay tight. So New needs something to sit back and farm. So for this side of Azure, they definitely can thrive off of a bit more aggression here with that all being down. I'd even look for the mid tower soon.
Yeah, feels like pretty much all three of LGD's cores, right? They kind of need that next time or even the next two before they're able to turn up and turn things around in these fights. Right, they've got that first time.
Or just at least like wait for the 40 seconds at least for the RP, and then New also about 45 seconds or 2 minutes until nighttime. So a little bit of slowdown, and they're not going to slow down at all. On this FY, they're looking to make these plays. They want this Muerta.
That would be the big catch. Certainly settle for any other.
They've got a rocket for vision.
They're going to go straight for it. You've got the easy setup here with F5.
Chết luôn. Chết luôn. Ulti thằng này mạnh quá. Cái này mạnh counter có vẻ tất cả những cái thể loại cứng cao kiểu gì nó cũng chết.
Xong rồi còn đi cái thằng kia nữa nó bấm vào phát xong rồi thằng kia chỉ được bắn thôi. Đéo có cái gì cản được cả.
Nếu chạy nổi mắc nớt cũng đéo được, mắc nớt cũng đéo đẩy đi được.
Không được đi không ạ?
Không. Post liên tục luôn, post liên tục.
Có cái lông không?
Không làm gì hết. Chỉ có 2 cầu đeo thôi, 2 cầu đeo thì được. Cái Demonic Burst. Bình thường là nó đây rồi, nó post liên tục rồi, gây xanh thêm chặt nữa rồi.
Xanh chỉ là 2 cái thôi.
Gây xanh thêm một chặng nữa.
It's like they'll just get the steal on Wisdom Rune.
Có thì càng tốt.
Có hai trắng đây rồi, nó lại còn nữa rồi này. Ngày vừa chết bắt xong chết lại mãi y hệt như thế này. Không, lần này thì Doraemon chưa kịp đến. Phải vẫn chưa đến nữa.
Nhưng mà swap được.
Swap được. Cả anh này anh chưa ulti nữa. Cái đìn gì đây? Được có nhỏ, đi phu.
Mới. Cái gì phu anh? Bắn tên đối thủ hết mana.
6 hit. Mỗi hit 40 mana. Thế là một phát bắn là hết 240 mana. Nhiều đấy. Còn 3 mana đấy.
Trên mặt này
chết hộ có hộ được không? Hộ được rồi. Nó vẫn vào. Đi tận. Lần này thì không có clock rồi. Hay đấy.
With this, as you say, sort of shifted the build, getting Flame Dagger before the Echoes Dagger is making big impact. So it's up for that kill on the mid on Somnus, and now it's allowed them to take down low. Getting this game into a much more stable position for LGD, closing down that lead that Azure grew.
Where they're just like, okay, things are getting a little slow. Yeah, you know, it's cooldown goes because it was like daytime and whatnot, and the bottom didn't work out. He recognizes like, we need to blink, start making some action, have to strike back. When we have our CDs, right away they get some start. Start ball rolling a little bit for himself. Now Chalice, he's coming into play. Aghanim's done, but it is nighttime, so this Night Stalker can still look to get involved with his team constantly. He needs to go for the Blink Dagger. Imagine he's got it queued up. Very good versus the Snapfire. Very good to get into the backline and positioning versus the Weaver. Close game, 8-4. Efficiency-wise so far for Ezreal, slightly leading.
Bắt thằng này.
Chalice can play very aggressive now with this Aghanim.
DB còn chưa xuống núi đâu. Cạnh xanh rồi.
Được, một phát cứu giá. Có phọc không? Không có phọc thì anh chết mẹ rồi.
Nếu có phọc, kẹt phải thôi không?
That's a painful death.
Không ai có thể cứu anh được.
Mishiro immediately is gonna tip him there. He's like, you have no teammates there? Okay, sure. That's a pretty massive.
Anh BB cảm giác giống carry hơn.
Anh
BB carry mà 16 phút kéo như thế đâu. Chơi như vậy luôn hả anh?
Learns to not go over unless he's got more numbers, needs further backup. Just two of them, they'll be dealt with pretty easily as we see by LGD.
I mean, LGD's draft does have a pretty absurd amount of damage at all stages of the game, really. You never know from where to... It does look like you're going to have that extra damage. And with a bench, I think this hero has kind of been
nó phải farm bằng sống bằng chết lấy được cái gậy xanh rồi thì nó làm gì thì làm.
Medallion, Wave of Terror, most heroes will just melt.
Mà bây giờ style thì để cho cứng cáp thì trước gậy xanh thì nó lại còn lên thêm cả farm nữa. Có đồ đấy bạn.
Somnus looks to look for a bit of action. He's close to hitting the level 12, so ideally getting level 2 on the kisses.
Mà em nhiều tiền quá, network tốt network luôn kìa.
A bit of a sweet spot for Somnus to look for another
play.
Right, he's versus this Night Stalker, he's versus this Magnus. He needs to have this protection for himself to be able to actually do something in the fights rather than just get full control. Still feeling this power during this nighttime. New with his fresh.
Đánh rồi, bắt được kiến này. Lại một phát hay nữa này, phải Blink vào Silent này. Đây rồi, Blink vào Silent. Đúng rồi. Chết. Gánh hay quá. Con kiến này carry trên môi thôi. Nhìn cả clock vào kịp quá. Hay, clock đẩy quá hay quá.
Chết luôn mà. Xong rồi, xong gậy xanh rồi, nó xong gậy xanh rồi. Dùm đam phát đẩy quá đâu đi.
Wow, clock hay đấy, thằng clock tù giá hay với đái.
Clock này hay quá, clock còn đứng vị trí kiểu chết hộ thằng kia vẫn chết thôi.
They even had they really had more than enough to be able to kill him. They still had the refresh and the dark ascension if they needed to follow up silence too. So they are slowing down this Weaver, but still continuing to get this scaling.
Weaver thẳng với cái B luôn.
Happen again next time. Super close to having his BKB low, just a couple hundred gold away from the recipe.
So he adapted a little bit here. I mean, it's very needed this game versus all these silences and all these controls we're seeing for him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Jure moves down towards the bottom of the four of them.
Đéo thằng Kevin nào ngu như thằng ATC thật.
Tất nhiên rồi đi, thằng đấy là vô địch từ.
Còn mẹ, thằng đấy là thằng duy nhất mà mình xem mà mình thắc mắc được việc có lên đồ.
Ngoài Cường ai có thằng ATC nữa. Chỉ là Cường thì hôm đéo lão mày thắc mắc tại sao lên đồ như thế. Giống ATC với Linh. Láo đấy, nó chạy một mạch thẳng vào giữa ba thằng, xong rồi ba thằng kia chạy về. BB này được quá nhờ. Đánh ngon. Húc trượt rồi. Húc grip để về nhưng mà đéo có grip.
Rồi, chắc chắn là có mạng rồi. Chắc chắn là có mạng rồi.
Lướt tiếp. Đéo được cái vùng đang. Ăn được 2 mạng. Mạnh rồi. Azure mạnh rồi.
Cóng à?
Chết. Ui po.
But look where they get. Look where they are. Oh, thank you. You brought us actually to your tormentor, Tormy. Will be claimed. Chalice can clear this one up easily. They're actually bringing over Planet. Maybe tries to go for a last hit.
He might try for a snipe on this.
Let's see what we get.
It's risky.
Anh này còn cần BKB nữa, nó cần nhiều đồ lắm.
BB bắt đầu mạnh rồi. Nhưng mà thật ra là bọn nó cũng sẽ chỉ chờ khoảng 5 phút để cho con người rơi nó có BKB thôi, nó sẽ bắt đầu đi canh.
As soon as they identify, yeah, mid LGD used a little bit too much. They strike back quick, take over. Pretty big advantage here. 7,000 lead now. And the Bloodstone now pretty much finished up for Chalice. Some big timings that they're hitting. And I think they not use either. No, they did use the Weaver. That's them not really having to use too much to be able to dominate that fight. While LGD had those cooldowns not ready.
Chết con gà.
Xả
con này farm chậm.
This bristle's certainly going to be a problem, and we're going to see any sort of adaptation from LGD with their builds. Like, who's building to deal with the bristle?
Có lock lên thằng gãy xanh.
Right, the Muerta eventually, but that's going to take a long time for Shiro to have that. So he probably needs one or two.
Con này sạc ngon này, có cái sạc với Colin ngon, phải đái búp toàn BB, đéo ai làm gì con BB nữa cả.
See how it all starts. It's on the clockwork, which is he's only level 6 too. It's not doing that super valuable kill. He causes this entire situation.
Anh này BKB.
You know what? He missed that hook shot on purpose. You know, it was just a bait. It's like, oh look at me, I didn't escape. Oh, woe is me. And then the backup comes in and low. He's ready with the cleanup, and LGD is sent running.
Yeah, we're honestly seeing a lot of power of maybe why this Snapfire in particular, why it's being picked. Samus' kisses in general in these fights, they're devastating. They're having to just completely split and run away.
They've done a crazy amount of damage for sure here on the mid snap.
Good to see. Cooldowns now, of course, though, on the side of LGD. Everything is coming back up, but now the issue is they're playing into multiple BKBs. Yes, you've got your RP. Yes, you've got this nice style with this blink. They've got initiation, but will they be able to endure those BKBs that are already out? And also another Tormentor, of course, that's about to be brought down from Chalice. So, you know, these shards are going to be kicking out for the supports.
RP pretty much is the only thing kind of easy instant stun, or as instant as, you know, as close to instant as you can get that can catch these heroes before they get the chance to press BKB. Anyone else starts leading in, their heroes are going to get the BKBs off.
Mạnh luôn, địt mà mày vào cứ Colin cho con BB, đéo ai làm gì nó cả.
Try to take these fights, but looking hard. And also for Azure now.
6 giây có phớt liên tục.
And they will kill
ngon vãi Linh.
fast with this grab. With the Weaver, Snapfire, the Bristle, it's going to die in seconds. So for LGD, they have to be on their toes to be able to try to prepare themselves for that potential rotation that's going to be coming probably in the next 4 minutes, because it's on the Radiant side right now. So see what they look to make with these next few moves.
I mean, for sure, but it's going to be so hard trying to approach even contesting. You know that Somnus is going to be set up in the trees around somewhere, getting ready to lay down the ult. If LGD jump into the pit and try and fight the rest of Azure.
Yep. Shiro actually, you know, you were mentioning who's going to be the answer for the Bristle. Shiro's changing his build up completely. He had the BKB Mjolnir queued up. He's prioritizing that silver edge. They're starting to feel that
pressure.
I think
it's
fair. I mean, in terms of sort of damage through the BKB, they've got a lot of it right now, Azure. You know, sure, BKB is going to help you a lot against Pierces coming in. One of the biggest problems.
Nó vừa nổ nó vừa slow.
Piercing the veil as a Muerta. The fact that this Bristle is going to completely rampant through the fights. Definitely the big
The scan comes out, but it's actually, I think, right before they actually walk into the pit there. They're probably aware this is happening, but it's going to die in seconds anyway, so no way for them to react and Sure, right. This is definitely potential for them to start.
Đau nhỉ.
Tier 2's been
Còn BB phải gài đầu vãi đai.
This age is now finished up on Chalice.
Đi con mà Brewston.
5 to 8 minutes.
Bên kia không có cái gì break. Có gì chưa? Chưa. Không có một cái gì để break BB cả. Thế mới lấy gì cho nó? Hết rồi đấy. Cái này game 1 là xong rồi đấy. Thằng này bây giờ mua Envy phải lên break bao giờ mới có. Còn lâu lắm anh này.
Yeah, low even the Deso's pretty much done too, so. See if they look to set up for those tier 2s at the least. And some, he's just continuing to go for scaling, by the way, so the BKB was done with that defusal. He's going straight for that pike, so just continue to get that big
thằng này mua gì đấy?
And that's going to help a lot too, also for distancing.
Mua
right?
sạc trước hay lắm rồi em.
Jumped on Heroes getting in his face, so have that pike to be able to push the Magnus, push the MS away as well.
Thì delay cái BKB thì đến tầm 27-28 phút. Nó en mẹ luôn bây giờ đấy.
Mẹ mất, mẹ đang rửa món BKB rồi. Lên rồi, lên từ trước.
Hay quá mẹ Cà Long.
Giờ lấy gì cả BB đây. Nó cứ lao thẳng rồi, lao thẳng mid, không lao thẳng lên high ground rồi.
Got low teasing around with New. The TPO was quite the long one, but didn't have any way to cancel it in time. Still though, there's going to be some pressure onto the tower.
Deep nằm chia đôi đội hình, hai thằng bot top, hai thằng bot mid.
Pretty much guaranteed they're not going to be able to do much about at least one of these tier 2s going. See how heavy
Đéo cần phải stick luôn.
Lane creeps have been pushed all the way back out from LGD right up to Azure's tier 2. Not able to put on the pressure there. See Azure focus around.
Lại stick để đánh không? Xem thằng nó định từ này bắt đuôi.
Không thể tách được, tách mà nó gấp thì chết ngay.
Úi giời, chạy ạ. Hèn đấy.
LGD
dù ré.
Hai không cho Azure. Hai không.
So the question for LGD outside the base. Inside the base, they probably will with this Muerta, but outside starting to feel a little complicated for them versus the BKBs that are out with Shiro.
Đúng thằng BB này là carry, con phía này chìm mồi rồi.
Azure continuing to take over the map at 24 minutes in.
And they're playing it careful. They're squeezed together. Low playing on his own a little bit here, but difficult to get caught. Chalice always having backup of his allies. Interesting to point out too, if I was looking at Somnus's build, I saw only 2 points in Cookie. Hey, going stats. You know, the universal, why not? He's going to be going for that big scaling himself too. On top of it, just his items that he's been going for.
Thôi, cường cho anh bet kèo nào đúng kèo đấy không? Đi mà không lệch cái nào. Đẩy BB vào rồi. Nó có Agit mà.
Nhanh này, công nhận là giết rất nhanh.
Nhưng mà thằng nào cũng dính 4 cái rồi. Thằng nào cũng dính 4 sạc rồi. Bật lên,
mang nó về. Cái gì vậy?
Đéo bắt được Bluetooth luôn rồi. Đi sâu đến hết. Hay quá nhở.
Ôi, vợ chết.
BB.
Bị đi sâu đến chết luôn mà. Không bật được nổi cái Bluetooth lên. Thằng mình hay quá. Bằng gấp cái thằng FY về. Còn đấy FY nó đứng ở đâu ấy, nó đéo búp được cái clean cho thằng BB. Xem lại em được, có thấy thằng FY đừng lỗi đấy.
Chưa mãi không thấy con SD làm gì cả.
Bị chết một mạng rồi, phải đứng gần vào đấy chứ đâu đứng sao á. Đéo được luôn mà đấy.
Không tới được thật.
Thằng này xí nữa.
Zone.
Có đấy nhưng mà bút được clean trong BB là xong rồi đấy.
Bên kia nó cũng biết là chuyện đấy nó sẽ xảy ra.
Able to bring that bristle back closer and closer.
It's definitely going to be quite the shake-up for Azure. If you've just gone for that sort of play with the Aegis on the bristle and it's ended up like that, like, what are you doing different next time round? How are you making sure?
Ở tàu đang có 1,6 triệu người đang xem Dota, phải cả đá. 1,6 triệu người xem. Đấy là một kênh.
That is going to be the question always versus the Venge versus this Magnus hero. Repositioning. Shiro
trying to see if we can maybe set something up here with the Silver Edge now complete.
Nhưng mà quả bắt BB hay thật. Thằng FY quả đấy không cứu được. Có cả Catherine rồi nhá. Này, mà Catherine nó rất rộng nhá, nhưng mà đứng vị trí vẫn bị thằng kia nó dồn ra ngoài. Như này bảo như này mà không cứu được, nghe nó bị điêu á.
Didn't do it with the Aegis.
Looking at the items queuing up, I was waiting to see if FY did queue this up. He probably does want this Link Dagger on the Shadow Demon eventually to be able to get potential saves onto the heroes that get swapped.
Này, FY mua Blink rồi này. FY mua Blink để bảo cứu những quả như thế. Đánh lên đồ rất có ý đồ luôn. Có con Shadow Demon lên Blink. Đó. Tưởng nó rất là cường nhưng mà không.
Definitely a little difficult for them to start the fight and just kill a hero before they're able to get a spell off and reset into that base if it's near the base, right?
Đúng. Và Linh vào cứu ulti.
He does feel a bit deceptive about how much LGD is able to make these initiations with nothing to say on this back.
I mean, LGD are making that AK lead look like nothing.
It really is.
With the way that they pulled together those last few defenses, now they're ready to get offensive themselves.
Especially because they got the gem off that last fight too. You actually get so much control with
it. Này chắc chắn over rồi,
but also just being able to get the view wards around.
Cái gì đây?
Hay quá nhở.
Ra mút được cái
hay thế nhở.
Mút được cái ấy. Mút được cái ấy xong rồi về luôn.
Ôi hay thế nhở.
Nobody high-fived him back.
Ăn
It's okay.
run.
Never got the tower.
Anh thiên mệnh đi thằng này tên là Á Quân này, khả năng là vào chung kết xong rồi ra Á Quân. Bố mẹ đặt cho cái tên là Á Quân. Bố mẹ đặt cho cái tên mới chí quá, vào chung kết rồi thua.
We've seen what this hero can achieve.
Heroes evaporate. Especially when you have the back.
Nãy Linh láo không? Chạy thẳng lên bắn cái trụ phát. Đã lỡ bắn rồi thì bắn 2-3 phát đi. Ê, ê, ê.
Backup coming in. LGD, they've got the numbers.
Biết rồi. Rất nhiều backup ở đây, rất nhiều backup.
Smoke lên, smoke lên, smoke lên. Đây rồi, đây rồi. Biết rồi, bắt được Clock. Không được, Clock chạy được rồi. Cúp lại rồi. Đây rồi, bắt được ấy rồi, bắt được Booststone. Thằng kia cứu đâu, em ai đâu. Kéo cứu.
Kéo cứu được.
Cúp rồi nhưng mà người hết máu rồi.
Hết máu rồi, xa quá rồi. Bây giờ sao quá xa quá.
Phải quá, búp được thì mới không bị cái này giải được đúng không? Giải được cái brick của cái này. Giải được brick ngon quá, rồi nó búp vào chậm. Địt mẹ boy về nhà tự kiểm điểm. Giờ đi farm hết của co đi để lên Linh.
No, they don't have a way to start fights themselves on the side of Azure. You can see on the side of PSG, or inside of LGD, they have multiple forms of that swap, like you said. But immediately when they get vision, they can just go for this jump. So have to be careful.
Just straight up outplay from LGD.
Follow boy này xem nó.
Ever since the Roche, right? Like we said, it seems like
they're getting the hardest
point, and right now they're getting catch after catch after catch.
Rosan.
Azure, they have to set up for this Roche. They cannot give up a Roche to LGD at this point. So looks like they should be able to get this.
Bên kia đéo có ý định kháng luôn, không hề có ý định đánh Rosan luôn. Mắc nớt Linh Ken. Đổi tiến cầm Egis.
I like that. And Chalice just has to be a little bit more careful and somehow be near FY to get some type of save.
Con BB này có cần một cái
because of how fast he does it. At least now he has this cheese.
Còn một BKB này, lốt tốt đầm đéo đi. Các bạn FY nó có cái ấy này rồi. Có cái clean này rồi. Nó không có lốt tốt nữa. Cái clean này mạnh vãi lìn ra rồi. Chỉ cần bấm được thôi. Game 5 năm mà có phải game đánh solo đâu mà mẹ một mình phải lên hết đồ. Phải tin tưởng đồng đội chứ. Đồng đội có clean rồi, tự nhiên lại mua thêm cái.
Do you actually get out of this Aegis and Cheese now? It feels like on the side of Azure. The problem is really just getting these objectives, pushing out and making LGD feel weaker.
Bắn trượt ạ, địt anh Charlie này. Vãi lìn ạ. Bắn trượt. Cái to nó to như thế, cái to bây giờ to như thế mà ông quay lưng ông phải gai trượt. Xong hết máu.
Entrances into the fight.
Absolute freedom.
ngoài Blink chưa? Ăn đầu tiên này, mua đi bạn. Đúng rồi. Tuyệt vời. Làm rất nhiều Catherine để cứu. Lần này mà đéo bấm được nữa thì rồi follow thằng này mới được. Kèm nó không có đánh múa già rồi, ta sẽ lăn, ta phải tụt tay.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do. Is it just going to be this kind of farm ages where they feel comfortable to fight outside? It does feel like every time they went to go for that aggressive move, it got punished. So LGD, they're going to look for a jump themselves.
Yeah, they feel strong.
I mean, they should. After we saw those last few fights, they just kill anybody, and the repositioning is massive.
I mean, anh này có break DKB.
Kết bạn.
Ui, lại bị rồi, lại đứng một mình không?
Anh thấy chưa? Thì mẹ ngu lắm.
Charlie này.
Đồng đội thì tin lắm nhưng mà
chạy ra mid một mình trong một chết. ATG flashback à? Chạy một mình trong một chết thì đồng đội thì ở xa. Thằng em quả đấy nó TP lên top để đi cùng với cả thằng BB đấy. Đi có thằng BB TP ra mid.
They're playing beautiful with the way the vision is
mình định
coming.
bảo là đi sao lại thế rồi nhưng mà không ngờ nó xảy ra nhanh quá.
It's pretty much free jumps it looks like for nothing to say. He's not even using the RP. It's literally just him. They get the break hit, he gets the shockwave, the harpoon, the skewer.
Mã Linh bèo người ta lên top network rồi.
He's really done a lot this game. 406 they've not been able to touch this man.
Em đảm bảo
Sombus is trying to actually do a little bit similar, at least for scouting now. He has his silver edge. He's trying to give information for his team
bị break mà.
see these jumps coming.
Chết ngay. Break dọc các này.
Advantage with this Aegis.
BKB này không có BKB rồi, BKB nữa thì đỡ.
Thế rồi.
In a while since they've been able to get away with an initiation and an aggressive maneuver themselves. They'll get to tier 2 in the mid lane. Towers has certainly been pulling when it comes to killing the heroes. LGD, they've just not been slipping up. Azure struggling to find any sort of catch.
They haven't actually killed the core in quite a long time. They killed Planet, and they killed Y, and then they killed Planet and Y, and that's it in the last 15 minutes. They have not killed the core in 15 minutes. So, cores on the side of LGD have kind of been playing the map perfectly.
Họ đi lấy đồ đã, người ta ship đồ đến rồi. Anh em xem tạm cam TI phát đã nha.
To be able to bring down one of these cores at this point.
Only just over a minute left on the Aegis here for Low.
Okay. KB, of course, now on Chalice. He's got the cheese.
I mean, LGD, they just look terrifying. Now, knowing how the last few fights have gone, stepping into this part of the map, trying to push forward as Azure, it can't feel easy.
Oh, and I'm just so scared. Every time I see Chalice kind of like run up for a second, I'm terrified for him. It's how fast he has brought down over and over again. Doesn't have to fire shell BKB cheese, so quite a bit tankier.
Seeing a bit of a wraparound as well here from LGD, trying to maybe get towards the back lines.
I mean, LGD, it's nighttime. It's hit. They've got the vision.
Lại thì mẹ lại bị bắt ạ. Thôi xong. Chết luôn ạ. Chết luôn. Chết luôn.
Azure, they just cannot take a fight right now. Thomas has the BKB TP out. He'll make it out of there. But once again, a move that's made with Azure having the Aegis upon them. They just can't get anything done. LGD taking every single fight that's handed to them.
He died in, I mean, that was 5,000 damage in what? 1.5 seconds or something like that? He died so fast. I mean, there's no reaction. Like, how does FY? It's like he has to somehow get in there to save him, but the speed that he dies is absurd. This is with Defiant Shell. This, of course, with Jesus. He can't get anything off. The damage just from Shiro is way too high after he's broken.
Yeah, straight down the lanes they go now, LGD. They're ready to push themselves, try and take some of the tier 2s.
I mean, nothing to say, has just done absolutely everything, it feels like, for the team. I mean, you, of course, have to give merit to them getting the vision, of course, with the Night Stalker and stuff like that, but he's been getting catch after catch after catch. We got 15 minutes or so now.
And that one thing that they had, Azure going for them, that little bit of a gold lead, it's slipping away.
I mean, that gold lead, it was what? It was approaching 10,000 plus or something.
It got up to quite a decent amount early on.
Never felt like it actually mattered. And now a full AC on top 2 for New. I mean, even more damage, more minus armor. Sure, what did they do?
We'll see if anything kind of gets better for Azure when it comes to maybe being forced to take fights on their side of the map. When it comes to high ground defense, maybe they'll have something a bit better going for them if Somnus is able to set up on the back lines, getting and having that range and that high ground advantage. But even then, the problem is LGD's heroes, they've got a lot of heroes that do not mind diving the high ground, right?
No. I mean, maybe this is going to start getting to some points where it's, all right, maybe we just have to wait until the 25s come out for the side of Azure, right? The Weaver 25 and Somnus 25 and see if that's going to be able to somehow win them some of these fights, because it just feels like they don't have a Bristleback in a lot of them because he's just deleted, so
the heavy lifting is going to have to somehow come from the Snap and Weaver. But it really does feel like LGD, they have all the answers. The last 15 to 17 minutes just feels like perfect. And it's not even like it doesn't look like they feel that pressured either, right?
I don't think so.
It's been pretty calm plays, these calm skewer backs. Great identification of when to take these fights.
Yeah, they're happy to take it easy. I mean, going into this game, should be able to outscale anyone else in the match, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Shiro in a fantastic spot. Has still, a lot of progress that he can continue to make with his item build.
And even him going for something like a Hex is actually just good if he wants to actually go down that route. He's playing versus a Weaver, right? So it's never bad to have that little bit more of disable as well. It does give you damage, of course, too. As he doesn't even really need the damage anymore, so I don't blame him if he does go for something down like a Hex.
Is there anything item-wise that Azure can look towards themselves? I mean, we see Low queuing up the Satanic, trying to beef himself up a bit, have an extra bit more survivability. Chalice queuing up the Shiva's Guard. Maybe that'll help him out a little bit, but highly likely that he's still just going to die straight away as the fight begins with how well LGD are just focusing down the Bristle, catching him in spots where Azure, they cannot save him as a team.
It feels like for them they have to have some way to be able to start the fights themselves, but their heroes just don't really do that in comparison. They don't have this Magnus or one of these big initiating heroes. They have the Bristleback, who he's a body rather than an actual initiator for the team. And so far that body not been working out so well in these last. Yeah, even the Shivas, right? Like, yeah, he got the Defiant Shell and stuff like that, which is 7 armor, but he died fraction of a second.
As soon as the break comes in, Pierce the Belt damage comes out from it's game over. On top of power and
so much amplification we're seeing. And now I'm like trying to think right for low. It's Tanny, but Tanny gonna get the comp in a lot of situations. Could just get evaporated. The these timing perfectly.
And if you're in this sort of position, I mean, as a team, what sort of call do you think's being made right now? The fact that you've got the last 2 agencies, you've tried to go for the pushes, you've taken a tier 2 here and there, but just nothing else has been going your way. What sort of point do you look towards to make that next move?
It's a good question. I mean, maybe it is just these 25s on the Weaver and the Snap, or maybe it is just the Hex on Somnus, because right now they have no way to start a quick, easy fight or get a quick, easy pick off with their heroes. They just don't have it. Like, yeah, Clockwork can hook shot and perhaps bonk one hero away, but they have to stay with the bench, so it's just always complicated for sure to start fighting. Now time out for LGD. Everything's back up. Dark Ascension's at the ready. RP, they want to hit again.
Oh, they certainly do. Nothing to say.
Anyone who shows them to get integrated in seconds.
Good job, low.
Lại đi con mẹ mày chết kiến rồi. Chết con mẹ cả em oai rồi. Xong, GG, LGD quá mạnh.
Another skewer attempt, a BKB forced.
They won't get in this time now. Chalice able to stay safe. For the push, likely to still come in. The creep wave stepping forward here for LGD. The backdoor protection taken out.
Flip.
Low does have a buyback, but even if that comes in, are they really going to be able to put them back? Nothing to say. He'll get the catch once again.
Đéo làm gì được.
He jumped the back like he did on the Somnus. Somnus trying to stand, but the Blade Bear's out for new. Somnus has got to be careful. He'll have to force himself back to the safety of the fountain. LGD easily able to deal with Chanming outside of the base. They'll take. There is no.
Buồn quá.